it's not. It's just gonna be a casual stream. What's going on, YouTube? I'm your host, Leon Gunstall. I'm doing a Today in Gaming video. Usually I do This Week in Gaming, but I had other things to plan. So yeah, Andreadol isn't here this week, so you don't see me, JT, or DaySuseX on his channel. So let's get the stream started, shall we? It's just us three right now, and more might jump on. I messaged a few of the people on Andreadol stream if they wanted to jump in, but I haven't seen it yet. If Stupay sees it, chances are he'll jump on. So let's get the stream started. Okay, Stupay, 14-year-old that always jumps on the streams.
Yep.
Okay.
I will be taking drink requests.
Go right ahead.
Apparently, Gamer Ghazi has an issue with them.
Who?
Oh yeah, Gamer Ghazi. Yeah, I saw this earlier. It's because he's 14, basically.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, freaking well. That kid is smarter than 90% of those fat, lazy pieces of crap. No offense to him being overweight. I'm just being in general here. I've made this definition so many times. My definition of fat is not overweight anymore. It's just a horrible human being.
It's true.
They're
I could
horrible
do
human
losing a
beings.
few pounds. I know that much, but yeah.
I'm overweight myself, but that's just not the point. The point I'm trying to put out here is that these people are horrible human beings, and the fact that they're now targeting a 14-year-old shows how pathetic they are. These internet bullies have been around for so freaking long that they'll say whatever they want, and this type of internet bullying has sent kids to suicide. That's what pisses me off the most.
Well, I think Stupay can handle it.
I know that kid can handle
it. Yeah.
Because you know what he does? He just turns his webcam on and gives everybody the middle finger.
Yeah, he just wants to play video games. That's all.
Yeah, and I hold him up for respect for that. Chatbox, what the hell is chat? Okay.
Oh, you mean because you can't see chat on YouTube? That's what we're talking about.
How do I do that?
Good question.
I have never done Chatbox. Do I just settings? Control room?
Yeah, pretty much.
Where do I do that? Control room. That's not that. That's adjusting our volumes. Hangout toolbox. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Comment tracker. Comments. How do I do this? How do I put that chat box up?
I don't know.
Jesus, where's a professional when you need them?
Yeah.
Professional.
I don't know how to do it. DONTKNOWHOWPUTONEITQP.
Today.
And now I know my ABCs.
Yeah. I talk while I type. It's a bad habit I have, but what else? Whatever.
Use your inside voice.
Okay. Q&As, is that it? No.
I thought it's like by default, but I've never hosted a stream before, so.
I thought it was by default as well. Here it is, Today in Gaming. I see comments down below, but I don't see them on the side.
You probably set it up differently.
How do I do that? How do I switch it up? Edit event? Or do I...
You don't. You just have to keep on going.
Oh, great. I just usually set it up and damn it.
Usually you have to restart the show, but I wouldn't want to recommend it. You gotta...
Okay. Crap.
You have failed everyone.
You have to go to settings, and when you do the live stream.
Give me a second here. More actions. No, it's not it. All right. Yeah, Gamer Ghazi, they're going after Stupay.
No, they're not going after him. They just have a personal issue with us talking to him on live streams.
I've seen his father walk in halfway through the freaking settings when I talk to him and stuff. His parents probably know what's going on.
Yeah.
And I don't get.
Hey guys.
How's it going?
Bonsoir.
So, what's up, Stupay?
Stupay? Oh yeah, something with Gamer Ghazi having a problem with us having him on the stream.
Because
Isn't he a 14-year-old kid?
Okay, I'm in the
14-year-old kid.
He's smarter than a 14-year-old kid. He's smarter than all the freaking idiots on Gamer Ghazi.
You're more retarded than a
some pretty
14-year-old kid.
I have live chat on. That's the problem. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I don't know.
I'm looking at it right now.
just-
I'm on the settings of the video right now. I don't turn on monetization for live streams.
People can feel free to tweet your abuse.
Yes.
That's what I suggest.
Okay.
Yeah, because they had an
And,
issue. Go ahead.
Go right ahead.
Go ahead. I was thinking of something else. Never mind. Just go ahead, Leo.
It's just they were concerned about us being a bad influence to him.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Because we say some really oddball stuff, remember?
Let me put it like this. Satan kicks him from his videos every time Stupay comes on, so all I have to say is bullshit on that one. We actually kick him from some of the videos if he's too young for it.
Yeah, it's not like I have an issue with Stupay.
Mm-mm.
I kept him on my live stream.
Yeah, but we actually...
I will agree that certain given a few of our topics and conversations on different live streams that having a kid that is so young as he is on there is a little questionable. I can agree with that sentiment.
Yeah, I agree.
That's just my opinion.
But like for instance, I wouldn't let someone like Lewd Gamer on the same time as Stupay, or even if I were to have like one of us were to have Mercedes on, did an interview of her or something like that. If that ever happened, I wouldn't let Stupay anywhere on that one with her because
he would do the motorboat joke, dude.
I know he would, but I mean, I wouldn't want them to actually, like for instance, Mercedes is an adult film star, and I don't want a child on at the same time, or there would be legitimate cause for them to.
Jesus, man. If
by
the internet we have today, then I would have got a lot more porn than I did when I was 14. That was fucking dial-up, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to picture a live stream with Mercedes, and all of a sudden Stupay comes on. Oh man.
Okay. All right. I think someone might have given me the answer on how to enable live chat, post and event comments. Okay, live chat module will. Okay, keep talking. I'll talk to myself.
No, I was just reading about another completely different case. This has been discussed. I think we discussed this earlier because somebody has apparently tried to tie this to Gamergate in a way, and that was the guy who set up the revenge porn site. He was convicted to 18 years. I was like, wow.
And what happened next?
The guy basically set up a website where angry ex-boyfriends or ex-husbands could put up naked pictures of their former wives or girlfriends, and then he blackmailed these girls into essentially saying, okay, I will remove your pictures, but you will have to pay me money to do it. And it's a pretty fucked up case, and he got 18 years, which I feel he deserves. Honestly, he's a scumbag.
If you hold those girls if you hold those young women as hostage for basically for their nude photos, their personal photos of their bodies. I've taken a lot of shit for this, for like trying to defend women in the same process by the extremists on one side of the group, where they said, "Oh, you're just acting like the social justice warriors." But in my opinion, here, you can't post nude photos of women on the internet. That is wrong.
Absolutely not.
Well, it's a fucking shitty thing to do, regardless of anything else. It's just a shitty way to treat another human being.
Absolutely, but the whole idea was basically when the prosecutor was trying to figure out what kind of legal terms they could use for this, because this whole case is so special. It's the first one of its kind in the U.S. And it was heartbreaking listening to the testimonies from these women. It was really heartbreaking. It was like one of these women were literally shaking as she gave the testimony. She was. It was horrible to watch, but the term that the prosecutors used was pornography without consent. That is the term that was used.
I do have to say though, it is a thing. It's like if anyone has learned anything from this, it's like if you're not willing to have, given the way things are today with the internet, if you're not willing to have something of your personal life put on the internet, definitely never share it with anyone. Doesn't matter how much you're in love with another person or whatever. Just assume that they could fuck you over at any point. Don't do anything wouldn't be happy to see on the internet.
No, but the problem is we are it's such a difficult debate to get into, because if you say that, oh no, you should never have posted those pictures in the first place, then the other side of the argument will become, oh, you're just blaming the victims, and it's such a difficult discussion to have.
You can't do that at all. You have to be careful. I'm going to give this thing out for all the young women out there that are in relationships. This is advice. This isn't me telling you what to do, but this is advice. Don't ever send nude photos to your boyfriend or fiance, or even husband for that matter. Don't ever do it. Trust me. If they want to see you naked, they better see you naked in person. Don't send it out to people out there just because they could easily post revenge porn. Don't care about your age. Yeah, you could have them charged later on, but people see your naked body. I mean, come on now.
I just wanted to share. I just wanted to share one story that I was told here happened recently. A friend of mine actually got convicted for sleeping with an underage girl, and this was years ago. I was 18, he was 18 at the time as well, and he basically slept with a girl who was, I think she was turning 16 the next day, and that's the legal consent age in this country. And she was turning 16 the same day, but he got arrested for she was like, you couldn't wait 5 more fucking hours. It was like and he got convicted, and he was sentenced to he didn't, I mean, the parents of the girl knew the guy. They knew that he was an okay guy, so they actually did not report him, but the prosecutors really wanted to fry his ass. I mean, they wanted to lock him up for at least 4 years.
Really?
But that didn't happen. Yeah.
Pathetic prosecutors. PPs, pathetic prosecutors. I see him here in America. I see him in Italy. I see him in England. I see him in. Now I hear about this in Norway. It happens all around the world. I call them PPs, pathetic prosecutors.
Well, I think I
can small trials. Yeah.
I think I can see the reason why. It's obvious because it's easy. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like anything else. If you want to get a name for yourself, you want to get a few cases under your belts. You don't go for the hard stuff. You go for the easy stuff.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
the question that a lot of people asked in this specific case was that it was not. This is not the only case that is happening here in this country that has been like that. Because I need to put this into a little bit of a perspective here. Seeing guys who are around 21, 22. Driving around with 16-year-old girls in their cars is not something unusual here in this country, and it's probably like that for a lot of other countries as well. And the problem is, a lot of these guys, they want to get laid. I mean, fuck it, but none of them want to break the law in any way. But it's become such a it's more acceptable in certain areas of the country if you date a girl that is way younger. And it's more unacceptable when you come to other parts of the country. So it's very different from where you live. And I don't know. It's such a crazy place. I mean, I hate going out with girls that are younger because of the whole. I think because the whole, I feel more grown up, and I feel that I'm at a different level when it comes to the psychological thing. It's like I feel older. I'm not in the mood for the bullshit. So I prefer to date girls that are the exact same age as me, or maybe a 1 year younger. But I'm 28, so if I date a girl that is 25, that is fine, but I could never go lower than 25. Hell no.
Well, at this point, it doesn't matter who I date. Doesn't matter. There's no country in the world where if I date a girl at the age of consent, and I'm not going to look like a creep. I'm that old, I'm afraid. I'm only in my 30s.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I really get that, but I feel like it's, when I lived in a pretty big city when I went to school and I studied, and I lived in a pretty big city, and it was so weird going out and meeting like the younger college students. Some of them are like 19, and I was 25, and I just recently started studying again. This was 2 years ago, and when you have girls who are 18, 19 coming up to you and it's like, hey, I was like, okay. And they're clearly 18, 19, not only in the way they look, but also in the way they talk and the way they act. And I just felt like okay, you could be my little sister. Please back off.
That's the funny thing. The funniest thing is the social justice warriors we're facing act like that.
Well, I do think it's more. It's like it's dating outside your generation more than anything else. It's like because you're going to share less cultural things in common and so forth. So surely at that point it's only about the sexual attraction. It's not something that's going to be long term. I mean, it's socially legal and not necessarily acceptable because people expect you to be in a relationship with someone who's basically got some commonality with you, which frankly I'm thinking about like 18-year-olds today. I've got nothing in common with them. Basically, completely different generation.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I'm 28. I feel like an old guy when I see this. I was like, no, this feels wrong. I'm out of here. It's like, and
that is a decade.
I'm 25, and people still call me 17. People still think I'm 17. I'm 25 years old, and I'm telling them I have these girls come up to me. I'm saying I'm like almost 10 years older than you, kid. Like that, I keep trying to tell them like I'm like 8 years older than you and stuff like that, and they're like, "No, you're not. You look like you're only 17." I keep trying to tell them I'm 25.
It's the perils of having a beautiful face. It's something I know and I suffer every day.
I actually have the same. I mean, I've been told that I look way younger than I am. I mean, there was this. I was at a party a year ago, and it was like this girl came up to me and said, so she started asking me a lot of questions, and she was like, "You're really mature for your age." And then I asked her, "How old do you think I am?" I don't know, 21. I mean, 21. And I was like, I was 25. So it was like, no, I'm actually a few years older than that. I'm actually 25. And she was like, "Get out." I am. And so it became this sort of like this weird thing, and that is not the first time that has happened. One other time, a girl completely got it wrong on my age, and she basically thought that I was 18. I was 24, so it was like, yeah.
I find
thanks for the.
Basically, if I shave, then my local supermarket questions me my age when I try to buy booze. So this is why I've got because basically it's like I don't have to take my license or anything like that, so I don't shave, and then I can pick up as much booze as I like. So I have a clean shaven face.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, if I don't shave, if I let my beard grow out, I know I will never be asked for ID at the store when I buy cigarettes or alcohol or whatever. But if I shave it off and I cut my hair short, oh my God, show us your ID, please. And I couldn't even buy a beer on the plane. I was going from London to Oslo, and this British Airways, this BA flight attendant insisted on seeing my ID, which was in. I had to get my wallet. I had cash in my pocket, but I had to actually open the overhead compartment and get out my wallet, which was in my jacket.
At least if you're on a plane, you've got to have a passport with you. So there's that. Okay. It's like you've got to have some ID if you're on a plane.
I can't get guys. I apologize. I can't get live chat up. I unchecked it, then I rechecked it, and it's still not coming up. I'm not sure what's wrong.
Leon, get your Twitter out there so people can post abuse to you. You can be targeted. Targeted harassment at Leon. I think that's the way forward.
Fine.
So, but anyway, what's up in the world of gamer? Besides Stupay being on our podcast is questionable.
Obsidian finally gave in, finally lost their balls.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Assuming they had any to begin with, of course.
But there are speculations now that that the backer who actually wanted this to be in the game actually said that he wanted it removed. That it was the backer who wanted this removed.
I hope that's the case. I really hope that's the case.
Because if that is the case.
What were you saying?
Yeah.
I just want to say, if that is the case, then it's Obsidian doing what the backers want them to do.
Yeah,
and
I hope it's him. I really hope that's the case, because if it is and they win against him, he actually has legal grounds to go after.
Is JT? Are you sucking dick there?
No.
Could you leave your dick sucking activity?
Sorry.
Send it out. Copy message.
By the way, is there anyone here who plays Bloodborne?
No.
No, I haven't got the money to do it right now.
I have money for other things. I've been playing a bunch of games. I've been trying to get. They fixed GTA 5. There's gaming news. They fixed GTA 5's graphical issue last Thursday.
Wait, they have?
Yeah, it just came up on an update just last Thursday. GTA 5's graphics has been fixed.
Good. So now they can go back to.
No, I was basically playing Bloodborne the entire yesterday. Trying to. I was so pissed off. I got killed all the time, but I finally managed to get through it.
Oh, one more game I've been playing. I recently re-downloaded The Old Republic and been playing that again.
Ooh.
It's actually looks way better on my new computer.
What Knights of the Old Republic?
That's the old, not the old one, the newer Old Republic game, the online one.
Yeah, but that's the problem with online games. It's like it's still people playing then.
Yeah, there's still people playing.
That's the thing that always makes me wary of those sort of games. It's like obviously if it's multiplayer only, as soon as people lose interest, it's like that was pointless.
Yeah, that game. They spent most of the time with the story.
The game is freaking awesome. That's all I have to say. I love the controls. Yeah. I love the storyline. It's a less confusing MMO than most.
It's like World of Warcraft.
I mean, I leveled up 2 characters in the Old Republic, and it's pretty straightforward actually when it comes to leveling up. You go from planet to planet, and you basically do all the quests in every planet. It's pretty straightforward MMO. The problem with the game, essentially, is that I enjoyed the story, but I find that going from planet to planet and mass murdering everything in sight becomes pretty boring after a while, especially if you already played through the stories.
The advantage with the Old Republic is they did put 2 add-ons on. I haven't gotten the Revan one yet of Revan invading the galaxy, but I have the Hutt Cartel one or the Hutt one, the Scourge of the Hutt one on. So I'm playing it for that one. I'm going to play that one at first, see how that works. They capped the leveling up to 60 now.
Yeah, I played through the Revan storyline. The last one, and you could actually do that entire storyline as a single player. You didn't need to have anyone else with you, and that I felt was pretty cool. You know, I was independent.
I actually enjoyed the Old Republic. I'm not sure why, but it's one of my favorite MMOs. I know a lot of people hate it. Oh, they have a Rakghoul invasion on Alderaan now. Okay, they do that from time to time. They'll have the Rakghoul get infested. Rakghoul are the zombies of the Star Wars universe. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, but I think what if the because that nobody wanted, it wasn't affordable for EA or BioWare to keep the game running anymore. I would pray that they actually released a version with the story content so you could play it offline. I mean, it would be a shame to let all those stories just disappear like that.
Yeah, it was an incredible game. I love the music. That was one of the best Star Wars scores I've ever played, where they made music for the game.
You just made me think of a very interesting thing, which is how would you archive these sort of games? Like coming from the 8-bit era, I was involved. I've said this before on streams. ZX Spectrum is the one I grew up with. A lot of British people, one of the machines I grew up on, and a lot of people have done a lot of effort to archive old games because obviously a lot of them came on cassettes and discs, where the magnetic media sort of they don't last forever. So a lot of archiving efforts, and it's like, how would you archive an online game when the servers go and stuff like that?
You can't.
Well, that's the thing. Surely that's an important cultural thing, though. It's like maybe that's something people should consider more. It's part of history.
The problem here, there was another Star Wars MMO that was really
Galaxies!
popular.
I love that game.
Yeah, and it was it was really popular, and the problem was that Sony Online Entertainment had no fucking idea what they were doing. So they released an update they released an update that everybody hated. It nerfed a lot of the skill. It ruined the skill system in the game, a skill system that a lot of people have really enjoyed. And yeah, the MMO basically just went straight to hell, and people dropped out of the game, and then they shut it down. However, there is a group of people right now trying to make a private server of Star Wars Galaxies.
It's already running right now, but I'm not sure how long it'll run for.
No, I have a feeling EA is going to sue them for that.
What? EA?
No, they are allowed to do it because it was they have as long as they own the original game, they are allowed to use because the entire server that they are making, they are made on their own code. So
it does remind me a bit of sort of abandonware. It's like I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah. It's like it's a tricky legal situation. It's like there's sometimes these companies don't exist anymore. It's like
no, they have gotten permission to do it.
This is just as I don't know where I could actually find the original Galaxies game. I never could find it. I could never buy it. I don't know where I could find it.
eBay. Yeah.
You can find anything on eBay, man.
Amazon, probably. I'll look on Amazon.
Here's an interesting idea that just popped in my head. Talking about the sort of Nintendo ban on streaming any games or having any sort of YouTube content on their sort of archiving thing. It's like that is one way which you can preserve like the history of games is through videos of people playing them. Even if it's multiplayer, you can always experience what the game was like through one person's perspective, or multiple people, obviously, if multiple people are playing it.
Yeah, actually, you got a good point there.
I always have good points. That's why I'm here.
Point taken.
Yeah, speaking of Nintendo taking down videos, Angry Joe has had enough with Nintendo. Did you guys see that video today of Angry Joe?
No, I have not yet.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Angry Joe just recently did a Mario Party video with him and his friends playing Mario Party. You know that.
They took it down.
Yeah, they took it down. Nintendo put a content ID claim on it, basic copyright claim on it.
He didn't even hear about the Nintendo partnership program that they were doing.
Really?
Yeah.
How stupid could you be for... I'm not trying to insult Joe here, but you have to be pretty stupid to not hear about that.
Yeah,
I find it very strange that he hasn't heard about it, given all the shit that he had to deal with, considering, this would be a story that he would pick up on pretty fast, but I guess not.
Yeah, didn't he get hit pretty damn hard by the DMCA shit when YouTube started implementing all that shit?
Yeah, several times.
When they implemented the whole new DMCA thing, and that pissed off a lot of people. It didn't happen to Angry, it happened to everybody, including me.
Or content ID, because there is a difference. It's like there's automatic content ID, and then there's DMCA, which someone has to actually say, yes, I'm gonna flag that as DMCA. That has to be, as I understand it, has to be a person involved doing a DMCA.
Yeah. I'm getting tired of these DMCA claims and people defending them. I just saw on our Twitch our Skype group chat when I was looking on there. I posted about this video and I seen, not gonna go by name here. I'm not gonna be that big of a jackass, but they're saying, oh, Nintendo has its rights to protect their copyright ID like that, and I'm just thinking to myself.
Yeah, they do, but at the same time, they're pretty much dividing the community, the Nintendo fan community, of watching their gameplay happen because it's free advertisement.
Yeah, and the fact that these people are defending, this is what I'm trying to get here. I'm not going to go by these people that defended this by name here, but because I respect them and I don't want to cause spark between me and them. But all I have to say is, you know who you are, and this is one thing I have to tell to you people with the whole Gamergate situation. I shouldn't be talking about Gamergate in like a This Week in Gaming type of video, but I have to do this with all the Gamergate going on, stuff like that. We complain so much about the antis silencing our words, telling us that we can't voice our opinions, trying to DMCA our videos all the time, and here you are trying to defend it when Nintendo does it.
Oh
Yeah, I
that's
mean
totally
the
true, yeah.
idea, but it's not just Nintendo either. I mean, Total Biscuit has a boycott going on when it comes to Sega. He refused to cover any kind of Sega games until
And
they
I think,
apologize.
and I think we need to do that with Nintendo.
I think
Yeah.
anyone. It doesn't really matter. The point is, it's just
Mhm.
like, guys, come on. What the fuck are you doing? This is counterproductive. You what? I don't know which suits in the marketing department or whatever decided this is a good idea, but you need to fire that motherfucker because he's clearly an idiot.
Mhm.
And it will be a man, almost certainly, because men are
It's an
stupid.
old man. No, it's an old man, basically.
It will be an old. It'll be some old. What's the thing? I don't. Well, actually, this is the question. I don't know much about Japanese culture other than possibly the very biased stuff that I get. Is it a Japanese cultural thing? I mean,
Yes.
obviously Sony.
Yes.
Sony's
It's a Japanese cultural thing.
well, the only thing I was thinking was obviously Sony's a Japanese company, and they don't. As far as I know, they
Yeah,
haven't got
but
anything
here's
going on
here's the idea. Here's the thing with Sony again is I don't know why why Sony does this, but it seems to me that when it comes to content in Europe and in the US, it's essentially Sony Online Entertainment Europe and Sony Entertainment in America,
It's more decentralized, basically.
yeah, they are handling each region, while Nintendo and Capcom have the big overlords in Japan telling them what
Same
to
as
do.
Sega.
Yeah, and Sega. And Sega, yes. And here's the idea here. Capcom, there was actually an interesting thing that a lot of people were talking about that happened. Apparently, a lot of people in Capcom Europe and Capcom America did not like the decisions that was made by the Japanese company, Japanese head office, that they wanted to block in all these DMCA things because it created such an animosity towards the company by their own customers. They know how people will react, and they weren't stupid. But the problem is Japan did not care. They basically said no.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, sorry. Nintendo
So-
kind of. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Go ahead, dude. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I just
Stop being
wanted
so
to say.
civil. Stop it. Stop it right now.
And the whole idea essentially got to a point where a lot of marketing people for Sega, Nintendo, and Capcom in Europe, in the US, basically said, no, this is good for us. It's good that people put this out on YouTube. It's free advertising. They were trying to get that into the thick skulls of the marketing people in Japan who didn't. But they were overruled, and instead you have all the. I mean, if you take a look at a lot of these DMCA's that comes from Capcom and Nintendo, it's the Japanese offices that keep doing it.
And
So,
it's going to fail.
The question is then, what is it about the culture that makes them want to do this? And that would be my question. I really don't know.
This is something that's ancient, trust me, with Japan. That's all I have to say about Japan, is this is ancient. This is something that's gone on for years with Japan. It's like an ancient form of pride with them. And it's like they don't like outsiders telling them what to do. Just like people in my home state of Montana. People don't like it when outsiders come in and tell them what to do, and that's Japan's idea.
Well, yeah, I could definitely see the foreign devil sort of stereotype because you hear quite a bit about that sort of thing. But yeah, from well, of course, I guess there is a difference between American corporate culture, which I'm part of, and Japanese corporate culture, which is quite different. Yeah, it's interesting that obviously the guys in Europe and America are like, look, we understand what's going on here. So are you boycotting everyone? Do you actually want to say, look, I'm going to throw my support against like the European and American guys who get it, and say, look, listen to your own fucking guys in the company who get it.
You can't really do that either because it's such a they're all basically the same company except they have different groups within that company. But here's my I am just guessing now, and if there's anybody in the chat or online who is listening to this and who is Japanese and would like to clarify, that would be great. We would please come in. if anybody's Japanese and speaks English and wants to clarify this, please come in and clarify, because I am just guessing here.
I will give them permission to jump on this video call if they're Japanese. Trust me, you guys are more than welcome.
Even if you only speak Japanese and somehow you've understood the English request that we've made,
if only we could get.
We'll just learn Japanese very quickly.
Well, I actually have a lot of training in public relations. I've done some study on this. And
Go ahead.
Typically, oh, sorry for jumping in, guys.
No, go ahead.
No, I left it open for everybody.
Yep.
Radol's not on. It's free open for everybody today.
Cool.
So open mic night.
Yes, open
Pretty
mic.
much.
Just don't talk about.
Japanese PR is very straightforward. Unless it's very Pacific times, you don't want to hear from them. The less you hear from a company, in many cases, the better off they are. Because if they keep talking, the Japanese mentality is, oh God, something's wrong.
I can see that. It's like a no news is good news sort of attitude.
Exactly.
But the problem with Japanese mentality is, I've learned this is, they have this kind of like prejudice against. I'm not trying to say they're racist or anything like that. I'm putting that out there right now. But I'm not trying to say that. I'm not
heard about them. It's
all
definitely
the Japanese,
racist.
all my Japanese subscribers,
Homo ethnicity. It's not far off the mark.
to all my Japanese subscribers, I'm not racist at all. Okay. I put that out there.
You were not racist. You just accused that. We just accused them of being racist.
Japan has the highest homo ethnicity out of all the other nations combined.
No, I'm
not
not
racist. I hate all the Jews. Just put it out there.
I just wanted to jump. Yeah, okay. David says okay, that's fine.
It's not
anyways,
true. I've dated Jews, so I guess I'm okay.
I have a Jewish friend, and it's okay. Anyways,
I almost dated a Jew a long time ago in high school. She was hot, man.
The Jewish girls usually are. Oh wait, that's racist. Anyways, what I wanted to say was, yeah, there is something we can joke about this, but what he's saying about the homogeneous society in Japan is really true, though, because take a look at because Japan is not a very friendly country to foreigners. It will never be.
It's not. They have the most strictest. They have the most strict. Immigration in history and I'm tired of hearing people
No. Australia.
Australia could be, but Japan is far worse when it comes to being strict to immigrants. I mean,
and on top of that, Japan's had a history of taking what the good parts are and then sealing themselves off almost immediately after. I mean, they only permitted the Dutch to give them gunpowder and then see you, bye.
Yeah, but the idea is here's the cultural thing. You can take a look at a lot of different issues surrounding Japan, and you can actually compare these issues and the Japanese response to them. Take a look at what is happening. Okay, let's just take one example that has nothing to do with tech, but it's just one issue where how Japan reacts to the West in certain situations. Take the immense protests by the West and basically the whole world towards how Japan treats animals. You know, the whole whale hunting thing.
Oh yeah, you mean the long middle finger?
Yeah.
Basically,
the entire whaling commission in the world basically say that what Japan claims is bullshit. And nobody agrees with.
That's why we need Andredal, because of course he's in Norway, and they're the other guys who support it.
Yeah, and China as well. China also.
I am also in Norway. Thank you very much. So.
Oh, apologies.
But let me put it like
to go
this:
to Norway.
I know several people from Japan that have actively hated the whaling. I've known quite a few people. I've never met someone. That supports.
It doesn't have to be a cultural issue. That's the thing. It's just a basic. If you kill all the fucking whales, there's no more whales left.
I just wanted to finish my point. My point by bringing this up was essentially this. The reason Japan has told the West basically to go fuck themselves, and they even interviewed a Japanese guy, a Japanese scientist who studies these issues, and he basically said that it's basically Japan telling the West, we're not going to let you tell us what to do anymore. that attitude is pretty big in Japan. The nationalism in Japan is really big.
Can I put something out here? I'm not trying to sound nationalistic as a U.S. nationalistic, but history has proven that. Oh, your mic is going off on your controller. It's whoever it is. Oh, but history has proven that. History has proven that in history that's just that type of an attitude. It never works. You can't alienate your allies, and they've learned that one the hard way. Japan has.
Yep. Yeah, but they're still doing. I mean, they're still technically doing it because they are. I don't know. It's like we are a proud. They are a proud people. The Japanese people are a very proud people, and
it's
they
an
will.
island nation.
Yeah, and they will not let themselves be dictated to by anybody, and that is the essential gist that I'm getting from the whole thing.
I can tell you guys something. Montana's idea on how we handle our natural resources vastly differs from like San Francisco's, and we clash with people from San Francisco. But how Montana handles their natural resources, our natural resources, compared to like how Japan handles whaling, are two different things, and they try to. These social justice warriors, I could tell you I've had a long hatred of them ever since I was very little because my states clashed with them on so many occasions about like foresting and stuff like. Let me tell you something. I just talked to one of my friends who's a logger. He says after they cut down the trees and stuff like that, they have to plant new ones. It's a rule they have to do. They're forced to actually have to put new trees and they have to plant them after they cut them down.
Well, that's a pretty good thing to do.
Yeah, that's a rule. That's a thing.
Well, I can tell you, man. That's essential. I mean, I visited Louisiana last year, and there's a big thing about in the bayou because the bayou has been devastated somewhat by the mistakes of the past. And I did a fan boat tour with a guy, and like. Doing all the sort of normal pattern, talking about the gators and all that sort of stuff. I just want to put gator in there because obviously I'm a gamer gator, and gators are awesome. Anybody who thinks that's an insult, anybody who thinks that's an insult is a fucking moron because gators are awesome.
Yeah, gators are badass.
Exactly, and they survived the last.
Gators of evolution, and gators barely had to do a damn thing.
They survived the last mass extinction, for fuck's sake. How are you going to say that's a bad thing? So anyway, that's off topic. But yeah, basically the guy was talking about how like how much bigger like the stretch of the bayou was years ago, and they're trying desperately to preserve it because they know how important it is. It's a very rich, very biodiverse area. You've got brackish, you've got salts, you've got fresh water all meeting together. You've got all kinds of diverse fish and all kinds of sea life going on. That's why New Orleans has great seafood, and I've had the pleasure of eating it. That's why, because they got all this great fishing going on there. But they've got massive problems with trying to preserve it, and a lot of that is go back to the past where people just indiscriminately cut it all down. And one of the other things he pointed out was is in the past, having all this built up bayou, it was a natural storm break. So you had something like Katrina, it probably would be a lot less worse if the natural levels of how built up it was, because obviously, like I say, it's a natural storm break. It breaks up the wind. The trees absorb most of the energy of the storm. So yeah, I mean, anyone who thinks like you can just like fuck around and like just take what you need and just there's no consequences at this time and age with what we know about farming, agriculture, using any natural resource, it's just fucking insane. It's like you've got to be, you've got to be planning for the long term. Otherwise, you're just planning your own fucking obsolescence, which is.
Yeah, we have here in my home state, besides logging and stuff, we have a lot of rules. There, like for instance, hunting. That's a huge thing in this state that the social justice warriors hate us for.
Oh God, that's so true.
And let me tell you, I never got deers in my life. I never really hunted. I always hunt upland bird like grouse, turkey, stuff like that, wild turkey. And there's an ass load of them out in the wild. So don't say that they're not. I know this.
Can I?
But yeah, what?
I just wanted to bring up another topic that kind of has to do with social justice warriors.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, I've been, I told you earlier that I follow politics. It's a sort of like an interest in mine. I'm interested in world politics.
Yeah.
And I've been following the politics in Britain for quite some time. And I've been looking at the NHS comment made by a certain politician in the United Kingdom. His name is Nigel Farage. He's a part of the United Kingdom Independence
I may
Party,
have something to weigh in here.
Yeah,
yeah. Okay, British citizen, go right ahead and say what
yeah, I just wanted to finish because this comment that he made about not paying for that the healthcare system in the UK should not have to pay for every single foreign citizen that comes and demands free healthcare, right? And that discussion, that article about his comment was posted in a Norwegian newspaper, and our Norwegian healthcare system is exactly the same as the NHS, basically. So, and we have a lot of the same laws regarding healthcare as the UK does. And this debate has just exploded right now in Norway. No, you can't deny people free healthcare. That is discriminatory and racist.
I don't think. My opinion is I don't think everything should be free. My opinion, but nothing should be so expensive.
But this idea was basically like the people who do not live or work in Britain and do not pay taxes into the system that actually, I mean, the entire healthcare system needs to be run by something. You need to get the money from somewhere to run it. And when people come in from other countries and do not pay a dime into the system, I actually got myself hurt in London, and I had to see a doctor in London, and was like, okay, I don't have to pay a dime. How much do I have to pay? I asked the doctor in London. Oh, you're a member. You're from an EEA nation, and that means you don't have to pay anything, not a dime.
Yeah.
I'm
in the U.S. We have to pay out the ass for healthcare.
I'm fortunate enough to have tax. I'm fortunate enough. For the first 2 years of my adult life after I got off of my dad's, because my dad was in the military, I had good health care. I didn't have much health care, but then I got diagnosed with a really bad disability, and they said, "Okay, you're disabled now." They said this to me: "You've been born with this illness, and it's autism, by the way."
But I wanted to bring.
But I'm just saying.
I just wanted to bring this back to the social justice warriors. I basically made my point. The comment that he essentially made was, we shouldn't give HIV patients who come from other countries expensive medications when we can't help our own citizens. That was what he said. That is what he said. And the social justice warriors jumped on this guy and basically called him Hitler, a racist, and everything in the book.
Wow, they deployed Godwin right there.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but I can't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know that a lot of people in the UK don't like UKIP, but what the hell is the matter with you people? This man is saying true things about your economy, and the rest of the parties have no fucking idea what they're doing.
Well,
he's the only.
When you finish, I can weigh right in on this, because obviously I'm
go right ahead, man.
in this. So,
when you
say UKIP is not popular with a lot of people, that is true. But the fact that it's popular at all is basically a threat to the main parties. Now, the establishment, as it is, fucking hate it. Well, this is why any popular media, they're always going to go on UKIP. They're always going to say they're racist. They're basically as racist as anyone in the Tories or the Labour or Liberal Democrats. You can always find somebody who's done great examples. There was I forget his name now. Oh, Jesus, Two Jags. God, fucking annoying. He's deputy prime minister.
In political parties.
Yeah, he basically said something about this fucking woman hating immigrants or something like that, and that was caught on camera. You always find examples of, because politicians most of the time, especially today, they're in a political class which is completely divorced from reality. Who's surprised by that? But anyway, the whole UKIP thing. I mean, I remember like years ago when they were basically starting off, and they've pretty much been on message all the way through. The anti-EU, they don't want England to be part of the European superstate as they've seen it, and I basically agree, because as much as I love Europe and Europeans and going over their cultures, I don't want us to become a homogenous whole. I don't want to become a United States of Europe. I want us to have our individuality and basically be friends. Be friends, but let's rule ourselves. Let's do our own thing, and we can cooperate and all that good shit. Because, like I said, I like lots of Europeans. I work with a lot of Europeans. I've been all over Europe. I don't want us to become a homogenous state. So fuck Brussels and all that shit.
Yeah.
But so obviously, as far as the funding of the NHS, it's done through a thing called national insurance. It's basically, if you're like me, and you basically get paid. Most people getting paid their wages through a big company or something. There's a thing called PAYE, pay as you earn. Basically, it comes off your little payment slip, or it's all electronic now. Yeah, it's like for me, I think it's about 50 quid a month or so. So it's a national insurance. So obviously, when people in America think about like health insurance, it's pretty much exactly the same thing, except for everybody who's working is paying national insurance. And that's how the whole system's set up. And frankly, you couldn't really ask for better. For all the flaws, so is there any system that's not flawed? I don't think so. And I owe my life. I have to use the NHS all the time. I've also got private insurance because I can afford it. But I use the NHS and I use private. So I'm in a lucky position. I can afford that.
Yeah, so they don't try to raise your. It's actually a smart thing to do. Is if you have like a insurance. I'm gonna have to say this to the elderly. If they have something like Medicare or Medicaid for anybody that's disabled or has any problems, I have to say also get some other type of insurance besides that. I heavily say that out there because there are things that those things won't cover. There's medication that could really save your life or something like that like the government-run healthcare centers won't cover. So for those out there, get health insurance as well.
If I may,
yeah,
go right ahead.
I just give me a few minutes. So, the thing that America does better. Mm-hmm. For all its faults, what it does do better is it does cutting edge stuff a lot better. But the problem is that cutting edge stuff costs a fuckload of money. What the NHS does pretty well is it gives really good general coverage. So for the most maladies you're going to have, for all your vaccinations you need, and they're fucking around with measles, giving you autism, all that shit. Of course, it's all a conspiracy. But get stuff like I've got diabetes, I get all that shit sorted out free. Like I say, I could use my private insurance for that. Things I don't do so much is like mental health, although there's changes towards that. But yeah, like I say, what America does really well, and when people say like America's got the best health system, they'll always be thinking about like the top end of stuff, like the really cutting edge research. But this sort of ground level, the important sort of base level of making sure your systems are basically healthy, that's where they really fucking fail on every level.
Yeah, I just wanted to say.
Go right ahead and say what were you going to say.
I just wanted to say that the main idea, the reason I brought this up was essentially because the whole social justice warriors thing is the whole idea that it's interesting because I listened to the party leader's many speeches. I listened to his speeches in the European Council. I'm half Hispanic. I don't see him as a racist. I see him as somebody who speaks common sense. This man speaks common sense.
Yeah, but we're talking about social justice warriors. Yeah. They don't exactly speak this thing called common sense. It's not very common amongst them.
No, but the whole idea, the whole idea why I brought up the whole NHS thing was the fact that, like Deus Ex said, he pays 50 quid a month into the system, right? So those money are being used to run the system. Everybody in the UK pays it, if I'm not mistaken. And
anyone working, and as I say, is
anyone working. Okay, that means that people who work in Britain, they pay into the system, so the system can keep running. Here is the problem. Here is what Nigel Farage essentially said, the leader of UKIP. He said that people who come from other countries and go to the UK and get free health insurance and are exploiting the system, they don't pay a dime into the system. Why should we help every single person in Europe? And he was not talking about emergency care. Let's say you got hit by a car or something in the UK. Of course you're going to get help. That is not what he's saying. He's talking about long-term medical...
Yeah, you're talking about general health care.
Yeah, general health care.
Like somebody who's got diabetes or something like that.
Yeah,
Or
me. I've got
he's
that.
got
This
a
thing
Oh,
is-
hey
cold or
guys,
flu.
guys, could I cut in for a second here? And say
Yep.
something? There's this
Go.
one image. My dad, he's an ultra conservative, took it from the Tea Party, and I'm like, that's the first reasonable thing I've ever seen come from the Tea Party's Facebook account. It was this one image. I can't find it. I just tried looking for it, but it's showing this one veteran in a wheelchair saying he fought for his country and got these rights, and it shows next. It shows in San Francisco, and it just shows this one guy screaming with this fist up, saying, "While they're screaming for it."
Yeah, but the idea.
That's my idea of the social justice, where they scream for it while others actually do work for it.
Yeah,
But
that's
the-
so true.
But it's crazy that we are. I mean, that these people who are attacking Britain now and calling him a racist is essentially doing it, and and ignoring the economical implications.
Well, you
This-
know
this
why
might-
they say racist, of course.
I'll be right back.
You know why they say racist? Because racist is the easiest way to ad hominem someone.
And by the way, the woman from Wales who was talking in the debate on Sky, I swear to God, the Wales accent is the most annoying English accent in the world. I swear
Really?
to Christ.
Welsh are really annoying people.
But the Welsh should be massively offended by you calling them English. I just want to point that out.
All I have to say is this:
And we apologize to most of the English for comparing the Welsh.
My family descends from Welsh, so I have a direct descent from Welsh family. So,
You don't speak the language, and
I
that
know.
makes you okay.
but my family's also lived. They left Wales back in the 1600s to the Americas. So,
My family was
Long
given a
time.
choice: Georgia or Australia.
oh man,
You regret that choice now, don't you?
I've got like a mixture of all
No,
kinds
not
of
really.
stuff in my family.
Australia's got lovely beaches and shit.
You know what? I'm just glad I live in Montana, where we don't have a drought like California does, and we're not told to limit how much water you use. We have too much water from all the rainstorms.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. They have 1 year of water supply left.
Well, I better visit California again soon. Whilst turn all the fucking taps on in the hotels. So I go there.
You know what?
I know.
Going back to the topic.
I got a second.
Okay, guys, back on the topic.
All right, let me say something. Going back to the topic about Japan, you have to understand that the old ways of what they believe in is in business world. You got to understand something. Nintendo's not making any money off of the Wii U.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
They're failing.
Sales are really crappy. Sales. The only thing that's keeping them afloat is the 3DS sales.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, they got mad banks stored.
Yeah,
It's
they got.
really
they
a shame,
got,
actually,
They got
given how good the
they got
Wii U
billions
really is.
of dollars in the bank, and still they can probably survive, but they only have about, let's say, 5 or 10 years to survive.
Yeah, Nintendo. They are. This is their last chance. I'm really thinking the codename Next is going to end up being like the Dreamcast. I have a feeling it might be a good console, but people have lost so much faith in Nintendo, they're just not going to buy it.
Do we really?
They're going to
do we
become
really?
like Sega.
Do we really need another console into the market right now? I mean, look at.
Right now, what's been going on with the PlayStation and Xbox, I built a PC because I have fears of how bad the PS4
and right now we know that a lot of I know that Steam. I know that Valve's trying to make their own little console, but that's
Yep.
only
DMOS, Linux-based shits.
yeah. But
Up
let's
with
be
the
honest.
canoe.
Are they selling?
Not yet. They are not even released. But
The
even
Alienware Alpha.
They can release
look
them.
at them are so vague and
The
very.
Alienware
Yeah,
Alpha
but
has been released, but that's just.
Well, it's basically going to be a Linux variant with Steam installed. Basically, that's what it's going to be. Just a custom-built thing. Drivers, probably tuned to whatever hardware devices they choose to make. My understanding is they're going to make a range of hardware, basically a PC, pretty much the same as the latest Xbox and PS3, except you get a range of them, and if you have a PC already, you just install SteamOS and you go on your merry little way, and there you are. You're basically set up, which is actually a much better proposition than what Microsoft or Sony are doing. What is even the point of getting a PS4 or Xbox One at this point?
But the idea, I agree with that. But here's the thing: at least the PS4 has a huge install base that they can build on.
Yeah, and the install base, but
But the problem, Microsoft has a huge issue right now. They need to get games out. They really need to get some exclusives out. I mean, Halo Master Chief Collection was a disaster.
Oh God, that was more than a disaster.
That was big.
I had some friends that went ape shit, all proud of that game coming out, and then they were like, "What the fuck?"
All I have to say
Wait, was it Episode 1 style disappointment, or was it Indy 4 style disappointment?
No,
Indy 4 style, I think.
Oh wow,
my
they
God,
actually- the game was
I'd
great.
go with that
Okay.
one.
But the idea here is that. I mean, Sony had to postpone Uncharted, right? But you take a look at the game like Bloodborne. Bloodborne is a good game, and it's an exclusive, but it's not a game that appeals to to so many people because it's such a hardcore game. And
You know what?
Fucking casual.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to say something about Bloodborne, and some people are probably going to disagree with me about it, but I'm an old school like Souls player, and that game, yeah, it is a little bit harder to me than the Souls game, but at the same time, it's very, very welcoming to somebody who's not.
I love the game.
Souls
I love the
games.
game. I love the game.
I actually am
I saw
really
the time
accessible.
to it. It's
I
a little
haven't played Bloodborne yet, so I have no idea what it's about. I've never been around that series, so.
But anyway, I just wanted to. The whole idea here is that consoles are heading in different directions, and we are all. I mean, I'm interested in seeing how E3 will be this year, and I'm hoping that we will do a live stream kind of thing when E3 goes on. That would be awesome if we could get together and do that.
I'll be
But
there.
and we will, and the idea is that I'm actually more interested in Microsoft's conference and Nintendo's conference than in Sony, because Sony, I basically know what they're going to show, but I'm interested in Microsoft.
I'm going to be keeping my ears towards, what I'm going to be doing is keep my ears towards Square Enix. If I have a feeling that they're going to be doing Kingdom Hearts sometime soon.
Yeah. But the idea here is that
They're supposed to do 3 here pretty soon, aren't they?
Yeah, they've come to water pretty hard.
Voice actor Goofy.
3.
Voice actor of Goofy basically said all of his voice acting is done. Goofy is the most voice acted character in Kingdom Hearts. Don't agree with me? Play the game and you'll see for yourself.
I've never actually played any of them.
Doesn't shut up.
Gosh.
Yeah,
but the idea here, but the idea this year's E3 will be a little special as well, because Bethesda will have their own conference.
Yes. What'll it be?
Will have their own conference?
Bethesda.
Yeah,
Bethesda. Yeah, that I have me and my buddies were talking about that last night actually at our FGC meetup, and that's the one thing we talked about was this has to be where they're finally going to announce the whole Fallout 4. Whatever next Elder Scrolls game that they're making is going to be, because they don't ever have an E3 conference, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay,
it's usually
what I'm hearing is that there might be a
three conference.
What I've been hearing is that there might be a 3-dog return after the voice actor what he said a while ago. I hope that's the case.
Yeah, but the whole idea, the whole idea, anyways. I mean, back to the consoles thing. I think that I really do think that Nintendo's press conference at E3 will be the most interesting one, because a lot of people are basically thinking, what the fuck are they going to do now? What are they going to do? Zelda has been postponed, and
could I give my theory here of why Zelda's been postponed? This isn't going to be a popular one, but
30-year anniversary.
I think they're doing this by. Some people say it was because they're going to put Robin Williams in the game, but that doesn't take much to do. All you have to do is put this goofy character named Robin in there, and you have Robin Williams. But what I think is going to happen is they delayed The Legend of Zelda because they want to put on the codename NX.
For the record,
Yeah,
Robin Williams' for the record, Robin Williams' daughter is hot.
Who's Zelda?
Yep.
She is pretty good looking. I ain't gonna lie.
You have to respect the man for naming his girl after a video game character.
Actually, let me tell you something. It was her son. It was their older son's idea. What I've heard is that they were on a talk show and they asked him why they named it, and their family were playing that game Zelda, and they said they named the daughter Zelda because of it. That's how that name came in.
Yeah, I remember the ads he did before he died.
Yeah.
We all know why Nintendo's delaying Zelda. It's because they're going to make Link.
The NX.
That's why.
What?
I was joking.
My idea is.
But
NX.
one of the theories basically that the reason they postponed Zelda was because they're going to put it on their next system.
That's why I just said they're going to put on the NX.
I thought you said here they're going to have a gender swap where Zelda and Link are actually a distinct entity, which is also a transsexual.
You know what? I would love to play. You know what? I would love to play Sheik. I would love to play Sheik, though. I would love to play that character. She was one of my favorites in Super Smash Bros. Yes, whenever I played Super Smash Bros. Melee, I always played Zelda.
For the newest Smash Brothers, I'm always using Zero Suit Samus. I don't know why, but I
haven't got the new one yet, but I've always played Kirby. I just love that pink little fucker.
Yeah, there's also a rumor going around that they're planning to release Star Fox.
Yes.
They need to do a Star Fox game, an actual Star Fox game.
They need any game right now on the Wii U.
And I don't care if it has to be freaking first
Japanese
person.
version of Legend of Zelda was released on February 21st, 1986.
Well,
the thing is, it's quite odd actually, Star Fox, because that was basically a sort of gimmick for their 3D chip it was the Super Nintendo first, wasn't it? The FX chip.
Yeah, the FX chip. It was.
Yeah, that was basically a gimmick, really, but it's somehow become a beloved character.
The thing is Nintendo. I mean, I understand that they're going to release a new console, but where their real failings for the Wii U was not the third-party support, was not the games, because the games are good. Their failure is, for one, you can't plug a flippin' Ethernet cable straight into the system. You can't connect a regular controller by cord to the damn system. It's ridiculous the way that Wii U
was wireless.
What they did get right was the backwards compatibility support with the Wii. That was the thing they got right.
That is
transfer
true. I will
data
agree with that.
was kind of funny if you like Pikmin.
I never liked Pikmin. I tried to play that game, but I loved it when it was on the GameCube. The first one, I enjoyed playing it for a short time, but then I got bored of the series.
Yeah.
I basically by the way, speaking of Nintendo, I'm reading a book now which is about Sega and Nintendo and the way they competed during the 80s.
The console wars.
Yeah, I'm reading that book. It's such a good book. I highly recommend it if you want to learn more about
Sega does what Nintendo can't.
Versus Nintendo.
Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
No, but the whole the whole book is essentially about the one guy. His name is Tom Kalinske. He became the head of Sega, and he was the guy who made Sonic a success and scared the shit out of Nintendo, who had ownership of everything back then. He basically took up competition. And he did really well. It was until after he left the company and Japan, of course, took over, that all hell broke loose for Sega.
On a tangential note on Sonic, I thought that was it, because that's actually another example of basically a game that was made to show off the technology rather than for itself. The whole thing was, look at how fast the fucking Master System can scroll this shit. And that was and I saw a few videos on this, and it's like the ironic thing, of course, in Sonic, you don't want to fucking go fast because you don't know what the fuck you're seeing, and you're gonna get killed every fucking second. So the whole selling point of the game, going fast, you can't go fast in Sonic.
No, this is why you roll up into a ball and let the momentum take you. Then you become a fucking engine of destruction.
Yes, you do.
I love it. That was in Sonic 2. Everybody that doesn't know this. When you play that, you jump into the little ball form and just and then speed off. That was introduced in Sonic 2. So if you want to play
I was actually one of the poor sops who bought the Sega CD or the Mega CD.
Oh God!
Amazing, amazing.
Oh
I-
man.
Don't knock the
Fuck
Sega
into each
CD. It
other.
gave us Lunar.
And I had the old Genesis model, so I had to buy the older version of the version of the Mega CD that was intended for the older Genesis. I'm sorry, Mega Drive model.
Oh yeah,
And-
you mean the top-down one, not the one that was
Plug
to the
this
side.
shit into
They
this
had
other shit, and then
so
plug this
many
shit into
different
this other
models.
shit.
I remember.
Yeah, and you know, it was like the only game I only bought one fucking game for it, and that was Sonic CD.
That's
Well-
about the number of games I had, though.
Well, you know, Sega Genesis was the reason why Mortal Kombat 2 had blood in it for the Super Nintendo because they failed so badly on MK1 being out on the Super Nintendo with no blood. And Sega
Basically,
sold
Sega
like
flipped it into
crazy
Actually,
just 'cause of
a
that.
little history here. The reason why Mortal Kombat 2 had blood on it was because ESRB finally came, and that's why Nintendo put it out there. Is because, well, they finally have a rating, so fine then. It's
Well-
M-rated. Go right ahead.
Well,
Well, the
Disney has kind of been
ESRB
like
came
the.
out
sorry.
right when MK1 released, didn't it?
No, the ESRB actually was in existence by about the time Donkey Kong Country came around. At this time, MK2 was not listed by the ESRB still.
Really?
If you look at the casing for Mortal Kombat 2 under the Sega Genesis models, you would still see Sega's own rating for the game.
Oh yeah, wasn't it like MA13 or some weird stuff like that back
Yeah.
then?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was considered MAAO.
But
But
the
that
idea-
pretty much didn't matter to anybody because
Well, I was
it's
just
Mortal
thinking.
Kombat.
I just
Nintendo
know that.
is basically like the
MK1
Disney of game companies.
Well, I just know that MK1 sold far better on the Sega Genesis just because they had the blood in it.
Yeah,
And
it was
MK1
because of the
sold
tapping code you put it
badly
in the
because
Field
of
of Honor thing.
It wasn't just gray stuff flying out when you
And
took that off.
and speaking of Mortal Kombat, next week the newest one will be released.
Mhm.
Trust me, man. I'm impatiently waiting that game right now.
I have pre-ordered. I will be very busy next weekend.
Look,
Well,
gonna
Amazon's
straight up
been
say
putting
it.
that shit all over Twitter, and they said follow us and retweet. So I've been following and retweeting because the collector's edition looks pretty fucking sweet. I have to say, Scorpion model, get over here. That's all I can say.
dude,
That's what you want.
I'm a complete.
I was really lucky. I was really lucky. I actually managed to get a hold of the Metal Gear Phantom Pay in the collector's editions. I managed to pre-order before they were all sold out. I am so happy I did.
Dude, if there's one game series I am 100% a shill for, and I just don't give a shit about what DLC crap they do, it's Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Not to mention,
I
when they
understand.
showed,
Hey,
when
if
they
people
showed
wanna
that
tell my
trailer,
Phantom Bone, give me Legacy of Kain.
dude, I'd love for Legacy of Kain to come back, but when they showed that trailer with Jason walk up, then Tanya and Tremor, and then the fucking Predator appeared on there, I was like, oh my god, all my childhood dreams have come true.
Okay, so what's Predators?
I am
Hey, do you
now a
guys have
kid
any
again.
idea on what the
But
fatality
do you know
of
what would be awesome? Is if they found a way to import save data from the original Mortal Kombat. So if you had like Freddy, and you could have it in the listing for Freddy versus Jason, for reals.
Oh man.
But this is the thing. If they've got the Predator, can we not have Dutch? Dutch from
Well,
the
they put
Predator
Carl
movie.
Weathers. Carl Weathers
they?
is going to be a costume for Jax in it.
Yes.
They actually got his likeness
Okay,
for
this
Jax.
game is sounding better and better every time I hear about it.
It's
Seriously.
tickling nerd funny bone. What can I say?
Dude,
But
when
I-
they
80s
said-
glory.
the first thing that made me get into it was they said Melina was coming back. I was like, fuck yeah, I love Melina. That's my
Who is
main
she?
in every MK. The katana counterpart with the teeth.
She was
purple
she
one.
the mother? She was the mother, wasn't she?
No, that was Shiva.
Shiva.
Melina was the purple one. Katana.
Yeah, she was the
Katana
yeah,
was always the navy blue one.
yeah, Melina was the
the,
purple one with Baraka
What was
teeth.
her? What was
Yeah,
her?
the,
What was her finisher? What was her fatality finisher?
For
She'll
which,
chop your
which
knob
version
off.
of the game? Yeah, usually she ate them or something. She would,
Kiss and then eat. Yeah.
yeah.
But the
In
idea,
MK2, she sucked you into her body and then spit the bones out and all that. She was the one with the size.
Are we gonna get babalities out? Because I would
Let
fucking
me
laugh
see
my
here.
ass out the babalities.
I
might
think
have
they're
to-
not
I
bringing
might have to look it
fatalities
up
back.
on. I might have to look it up on an emulator, Mortal
Oh,
Kombat.
come on. Friendships. We need friendships back.
Oh god, I missed those. Here, let me
But
see. Here,
having
what's
two
the,
people playing.
Or worse, ponality.
let me see.
Yeah. To appease
I'm
the
going to minimize my screen and see if I can show you.
Can we have feministality where it just berates you for playing this?
Here, you'll see.
game?
I have the
Melina here.
oh man, oh man, I want Anita Sarkeesian DLC character for
Her finishing. You guys go.
This play's going horribly wrong.
For the folks trying to remember who Melina was, here you go. She's
Hey.
desktop.
Oh, now I
Yeah.
know who she is. I remember now.
And guys, the fatality move could be that she nags you to death.
Yeah, like it talks for so long, the soul just escapes and runs. Get back into the camp, because one criticism I had about the fatalities for original Mortal Kombat is that they all look kind of samey.
Yeah, they
None of them
did.
had that sadistic charm to them.
MK9 was pretty good, but they had, because the limitations of the technology, they had all these like pre-cuts for like the arms, the body, and everything. A lot of the fatalities got repetitive, but there was one that stood out so much to me. It was Noob Sabat's one where his twin comes out and they literally just pull the opponent apart. God, it was even me seeing so many horror films, it was hard for me to just watch that fatality.
Well, I
It's
could only
so
guess the reason why it's Noob Sabat is like, because obviously everyone knows that's Tobias Boone. Obviously the two creators. Paul
Oh yeah,
Mansfield,
that's where the
first,
whole
like-
thing came from.
And I can only assume they did that. It's like, fuck it, we're gonna have the most awesome finishing move because we're the fucking creators. So fuck you.
Well, like Tobis, he's not even with freaking NRS. He went off on his own somewhere else.
Really, I didn't know that.
Ed Boon is the only original creator still working with it. Well, except
Yeah,
for
they
like
use
John
them as a
Vogel, I
tribute.
think. There's other.
But
viewers.
speaking of Mortal Kombat, I'm interested in seeing what kind of DLC characters will be out for the new one. I mean, they could do a lot of crazy shit there. I mean, what I love from what I've seen of the actual game is the style. They're going back to the real grotesque, dark, crazy finishing moves. I love that they're doing it.
Well, not only that, they're actually trying to tell a good story for once.
Yeah.
I mean, they completely revamped the whole story with Part 9, and this new one, the story is coming so well.
Does anyone else remember the TV series?
Oh God, no.
Yeah, I remember the TV series and the cartoon series.
And the Savage
There was a
Dragon in that
cartoon
big
series.
crossover, yeah.
Yes, there was a
was
cartoon
fucking
series on the USA Network.
By the way,
I love the cartoon.
By the way,
Really.
am I the only one who thinks that the first Mortal Kombat movie is okay? I have such a nostalgic
Yes.
feeling for that movie.
For
But the
the
second
theme
one
alone.
did not
Mortal
look good.
Kombat!
Dude,
in
the movie.
Johnny
what it
Cage.
was.
Mortal Kombat!
The movie
Johnny
was
Cage.
great for what it was.
Johnny
the second
Ca-
movie, the hell was that shit? Go ahead, man. I'm
Annihilation,
sorry.
yeah.
Liu
That's,
Kang.
Yeah, as a movie, the first Mortal Kombat was good. It was adequate. It's what you did with it, but they tried to stretch it with Mortal Kombat Annihilation because 3 was convoluted as it was.
Yeah, they kind of screwed it up.
Well,
But
what I
supposedly there's going to be another movie, especially after that whole MK Legacy series and everything. But there's not been really any information come out about it or anything.
So it's currently in development hell.
I think
pretty
so.
much.
Because, did you guys see the MK Rebirth trailer that Kevin Takian put out? The guy that directed like The Fame and all those other dance movies like Glee.
Yeah.
He made this badass fucking fan-made film that was on par with the shit that like they did with that Power Rangers thing. And it caught on and got so viral that Warner Brothers said, "Okay, we'll let you make your movie." And he also made this like short web series for 2 seasons, and the second season was bad, but the first series was actually pretty good. It had some pretty well-known actors in it too.
Yeah, they did.
Well, they did that.
I mean,
with Star Trek. There was a fan series of Star Trek that had a couple of actors on the original series. Not really big names, but it's like bit players and stuff like that. I mean, it's amazing what fan creations can achieve, really.
Well, yeah, and that's why I got happy when I saw what they did with the Power Rangers thing, because they are making a Power Rangers movie, and Saban or whatever got all angry and butthurt about it. and tried to get it taken down. And I was
Well,
like,
that's
dude.
Japanese culture discussion once again.
Well,
Yeah.
true. But the thing is whoever this guy is on YouTube that does these things, he reinvigorated people's interest in the Power Rangers and wanting to see something different come to it, because that's what they're supposed to be doing, is reimagining it.
Well, it's Disney owned, right? So we could have a Avengers Power Rangers crossover.
I don't think
No,
Power Rangers is in Disney.
Ron got the rights back.
Let me see.
Okay.
He also did He also did a cartoon for what was that one? It was 2000. It was 2000 AD with Judge Dredd.
Which
Yeah, I
two
heard
of the
about
films?
that.
It was actually okay. It was it was a sad ending, but it was actually a good. It was actually a gritty storyline that he created.
Yeah, he's also the same guy that did that one that was the Punisher one, the Dirty Laundry thing. with
Yeah,
Thomas
that
Jane
was
in
a
it.
good one too.
That was like the first one that came out, and he just kept on making all these other weird reboots or reimaginings. He's got one, I think, now for James Bond.
Yeah.
You guys
talking
are
about
gonna
him being
find
a
this.
serial
You
killer
gotta
or
find the
some shit.
fucking link for some of this shit because I want to see it. Everything.
Yeah.
Let me look here, because I'll find the
name is,
channel. He's got
Adi
the channel.
Shankar.
Leon,
Yeah, he's.
I gotta take off.
Adi
I gotta take
Shankar.
off.
Guys, all right, what were you saying?
Have a good one, man.
I gotta
See you
take off
later.
because my internet connection is screwing up a bit here. So it was great to
Blame
talk to you guys.
Canada.
Ospodonian comrade.
Take care.
Adi Shankar or something like that, or Shankar.
Yeah.
Ah,
Adi
there we
Shankar.
go. Sweet.
Here, I got the link right here. I'm putting it in the chat for you for his video channel. There you go.
That's another couple of hours of my life wasted.
Holy shit!
Well-
I found something cool.
He does these videos too where he talks about where he came up with all this, what's the whole point behind what he's putting out too. So it was interesting to hear what his thoughts are. But the Power Rangers one was just wild. It was so weird to see what he had changed it into. And
Pretty much making
personally,
them,
I
pretty much
loved it.
making the Rangers into adrenaline junkies.
Yeah.
You have to be, surely.
Well,
And
it
it kind of
was.
reminded me of how the take on Samurai Flamenco was. If y'all ever seen that anime.
I never saw
Yeah, I
that
did.
one.
Yeah,
I
the
did.
premise is that a male actor who kind of was raised on action shows like Kamen Rider and all that gets it in his goddamn
He wanted to
head,
become one.
yeah, to become one, and he gets his ass whipped routinely.
It sounds a bit like Kick-Ass.
Yeah, it pretty much
Yeah.
is, but it goes deep into the rabbit hole, then yanks you back out.
Yeah, and he finds out that that every time he thinks it would happen anyways.
Like,
It was
wouldn't
like-
it be cool to fight an evil organization?
And yet he did, and then he fought. And then he. What would be cool if you fought aliens? It happened.
Mm-hmm.
He fought. He tried to fight a criminal organization. That happened too.
Oh, I'm gonna post this anyway since we were talking about MKX, but it's the new Goro teaser trailer if y'all want to see it.
Goro!
It actually they're finally showing some gameplay of Goro prior to the game's release.
I always hated Goro.
Oh.
When I was playing
Goro
Mortal
was a
Kombat
dick,
4,
but he was fun to fight.
he's got 4 fucking arms. He just smacks the shit out of you. My God.
Yeah,
Dude,
he grabs
he's-
you,
he's-
smacks
He's
you with a
twisted in this new MKX thing, man. He's doing some shit that I've never seen them do it with him before. Like, they're actually giving him like dragon breath. They show a bit of his X-ray move. He does some weird ass shit. Like he grabs you and stretches them till their back breaks and shit. And they show a clip of his fatality.
Oh yeah.
What we can only hope is a fatality.
Oh, it's 13 minutes of Goro gameplay. Excuse me. It's not the trailer. That's some
It
pretty
does
cool,
look
wicked
pretty-
shit.
Yes. Yes, it
Who
does.
talks about it.
Oh shit! Here's his fatality. Let's see if they're gonna actually do it.
Sub-Zero looks pretty badass as well. He's got Ice Hammer.
Oh my
that's
God.
pretty cool.
Oh my god, that is crazy. His fatality is sick.
What do you do?
Dude, he grabs them and then he pushes their head real hard until it goes into their body. Then he rips open their torso and the head's just kind of sitting there and they fall over. That shit looked kind of sick.
Okay, yep, I'm just watching it now. Here we go.
It is twisted. Now he's fighting Raiden.
Jesus fuck, yes. Well,
So over the top. I love it.
that's Mortal Kombat.
Did you guys see Scorpion's fatality that they just kept trying to hide?
This is the first I've been watching this shit. I'm seeing it, and it's like, now I'm excited about this game. It's like, I haven't played Mortal Kombat for fucking years. Like I say, last one was Mortal Kombat 4, but,
it looks like they're taking a lot of injustices.
9 was basically Raiden going back in alternate dimensions.
Around, yeah.
Yeah. Now this is everything that's happening. It's like it's taking place like right after MK9 and then 25 years into the future after MK9. That's why you see like Cassie Cage and Jax's daughter and all that shit in there.
okay, he's
nice.
ripping Raiden apart here, and that was just like a
Weird super
standard sort of
move.
grab move, and okay, and then Raiden's going all fucking lightning god, and he's just This is what I love about Mortal Kombat. How can you take this seriously? He just snaps Goro's spine, and then he just gets
And then he gets right back up.
It's like,
Well, I'm interested to know how they explain Goro having his arms back, because in the comic book series that's explaining everything prior to this game, Kotal Khan, the weird Aztec guy, he cuts his arms off and leaves him to bleed to death. And the last you see it is him Goro talking to his father at the Shokun's home or whatever, and then you never see that he got his arms back. So I'm trying to figure out, how does he get his arms back?
he's a lizard man.
God, here's his other
Regenerated
fatality.
them.
Oh,
Here we go. Yep.
that was pretty damn cool. His second fatality, he steps on top of you, then all four of his arms grab a limb, and he just rips them all off.
Oh yes. Here we go.
Pre-order to play as Goro.
Like I said, I know I'm a shield. I've already ordered the combat.
It's cool. It's cool.
Well, it makes me a hypocrite because I always get all pissy about bullshit.
On Moral Grounds, I cannot pre-order. Maybe I'll buy it in 4 years when it's all cheap and shit, and then no one else is playing multiplayer. But that's fine because I'm shit at fighting games.
Well,
So
the thing about some
I'm not
games, there's some games I feel that it's okay to pre-order, especially since if you already know you are going to buy this game day one anyway.
Mm-hmm.
There's no sense in not pre-ordering it. I can see why there. The other thing is that there are certain properties are pretty safe bets to go on. Obviously, one
this is
not
quite cool. We're at the
Assassin's
character
Creed.
selection. We're at the character selection screen, and you can choose like a modification of your character. That seems like a nice way to add some variety to it.
Yeah, essentially each character is 3 separate characters in this one. They're going to have these different variations. Like Melina, she has a variation that focuses around her being able to teleport around the screen. She's got one that's more focused on her being a fast grappler.
So it's like what they did with Marvel vs. Capcom, with each one having an alpha, beta, and gamma type.
Yeah, but their type was just on how they were going to assist you. In this one, you're having to pick a variation that's going to change most of their move set, but also they have universal moves. Again, I'm going to use Melina because that's the one I've looked at the most. But with her, she has her ball roll, her teleport kick, and her size. Every variation will let her use those. But each variation also has different move sets that go within them that make her play as a different character in some form or fashion. It's really going to cause a lot of matchup discussions. You're going to see a lot of people yelling about saying, oh, well, if you play Scorpion Variation B, you're better off using Raiden Variation A. It might add some depth to the game. It just depends on how broken some characters end up being. I think Takeda is going to be the worst character of the bunch, actually.
That's what nerds get off on. So there you are.
Well, like I said, I compete in fighting games. I go to tournaments and shit, and that's sort of what we wind up talking about all the time is how to get around certain moves, how to get around other things. And Injustice suffered badly on a lot of ways because we had characters like Martian Manhunter, who could take on anybody in the roster. Or there was characters like Sinestro. If you were playing Lex Luthor, you were never going to beat a high-level Sinestro player. It was just over right then and there. Or a Cyborg. MK9, Cabal was broke as fuck.
Well, that's definitely a tricky thing. I mean, like I say, I never play multiplayer really with these things because I'm shit. I'm never going to be high level at this fucking thing. I'm mostly interested in these things for just a bit of casual beating the shit out of your friend sitting next to you on the couch sort of thing. Well, in which case it makes no difference.
Well, that's what I initially did in the beginning as well. It's just I don't even play online. I play offline. I prefer multiplayer offline because there's no input delay or any of that bullshit. Yeah. The thing is when I remember my first tournament I went to for MK9, my opponent picked Cabal, and it turns out Cabal can just shut anyone down the way he is played. It's difficult execution, but he shuts every opponent in the game down. Unless you're playing as, I think, Cyrax or Kenshi, you're never going to win against Cabal. Or you're just waiting for that opponent to finally make a mistake, and by then it's too late, usually.
Well, this is why, I mean, I'm always fascinated by, like, StarCraft 2. It's like, I mean, just how well balanced the different races are. Though you see a lot of people who prefer Zerg or Protoss over Terrans. But when you do see a really good Terran player, it's like they can really make use of the fact that Terrans can move their bases around. And that's the difference. But otherwise, it's like if you can't manage that shit, it's like, well, Protoss or Terran are basically going to be your choices. Very difficult thing. They're always a fucking difficult thing to really get a game where you can have different styles of play and have that be balanced. So you're not like, oh, well, this is obviously if you play this guy, you're going to win, pretty much. That's what you're trying to avoid. Very difficult thing to do, and have diverse strategies, because you're basically asking developers to like try to compute a very difficult mathematical equation of like, how do we balance this shit? It's incredibly difficult to analyze.
All right, I'm gonna post you guys.
The players break it.
All right, I'm gonna share a video of you guys from one of the Evo 2013. It was a Cyrax versus Cabal, and it should show you the kind of bullshit that Cabal could do and how broke he was. There's a reason he ain't coming back in MK10.
Alright.
Can you describe him? Because I don't know anything about Cabal at all. Just give him a... Yeah.
Cabal was the crazy one with the weird gas mask and the hook swords.
Yeah, and the meat hooks.
Yeah. He has this ability called the Nomad Dash or the Nomad Dash, where he goes really fast across the screen, and whenever he hits you,
and usually they spin. He tries to spin people around.
Well, he has there's a technique using him in MK9 where it's called the Nomad Dash Cancel. If you press back and block quick enough, you can stop the dash, and the whole playstyle around him is built around pokes and using that cancel. And the problem is anyone that could do it really well could just shut any opponent down. It didn't matter who it was, unless it was like Kenshi, because Kenshi can hit you from the entire screen. And Cyrax had this ability where you could use 100% reset. So if he could get a combo started, he could keep the opponent constantly in the air until they were out of health. That was the only other way to beat Cabal. So what I just shared with you is the grand finals of 2013 EVO, and I think it'll show you how they can play Cabal. It's fucked up.
I'm not seeing the share, man. Try it again.
Give me 1 second here, and then let me try it one more time. There, I just put it on there under my. It's because there's like 3 links put on there.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Just use the very last one.
Yeah, I got it. Here we go. Yep.
Oh yeah, that too. He had this ability with the gas blast, the little fireball he shoots. You could instant air it and just keep the opponent at the other end of the screen, and they could not come close to you. He was so fucked up. I've been the victim of many Cabals, and it made me almost quit the damn game.
Wow. Yikes.
This guy though, DJT, Crazy88 here, the Cyrex player actually ends up beating Cabal, but you'll see why, because he uses what they called 100% resets. Wow, I didn't realize it was an 18-minute video. Fuck.
Jesus. Yes.
But if you notice, like, the Cyrex player here is just struggling just to get close enough to him or get away from him.
Yeah, the other guy's just throwing a lot of shit at him. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna bide my time here. Okay, yep, right, okay, now I can punch you about once, and that's about it.
Yeah, there he goes with Cyrex. Once he gets a hold of you, he can start doing things to keep you under control. But the Cabal player here, with that gas mask, when he has you at full range, that gas mask, as soon as it gets to the other end, or the gas blast, as soon as it gets to the other end of the screen and it's blocked, he's already able to shoot another one. So it's like he can keep going instantly with it. Weird, he's not using the Nomad Dash cancel at all. That's usually what everybody does with him.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm pretty sure I've bored you guys enough with Mortal Kombat.
Man. Look, this
Mortal
is
Kombat's awesome.
Like I say, man. I have fond memories of playing the original in a French like cafe or something. They had an arcade machine. I was about 12 or something.
There's the 100% reset. There it goes. I'm sorry. Yeah, there he does do it. I think in the second round of that match, the first match, and you'll see exactly why Cyrex is fucked up too.
Mm-hmm.
MK9.
Anything else that came out that recently that we should talk about?
Well, the only other thing I know of is Bloodborne.
Plenty. Let me try to recall my memory. Let me look at my Twitter history, because there's always something interesting in that.
I need to look at my Twitter, actually. I don't know what's going on up on there. That
some things I did was really.
Oh God, there's that video, the whole big thing with the smoking gun video about how WCW has been planning this shit from 2011.
Yeah, that was some crazy shit to watch. It was actually, to me, it was terrifying to watch.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
We realized Moot and the PBS guy were together.
Well, it wasn't even just that. Like, I was sitting there watching it, and then I started connecting dots going, okay, when they brought up this Heather Kelly woman, I was like, okay, who's Heather Kelly? That name sounds familiar. I started Googling it and finding her connected to the IGDA. She was also connected to Polytron and Phil Fish, and then all these other people that we most notably know about. And it was creepy to just start seeing it unfold. I'm like, wow.
Wow.
And they thought we were crazy. This just makes the crazy not crazy anymore.
Well, see, I'm not even surprised. I mean, it makes perfect sense with all the collusion and such. I mean, I made this point, I think in the Sky chat. It's like, this is what you do. If you wanna, this is what you do. You don't just like make a plan and then just go, right, here's our fucking plan. We're gonna put out. No, what you do is you build up slowly. You put your people in the positions. And I think someone else made the point, I can't remember who it was, but someone else made the plan that basically we've kind of disrupted that. The whole Gamergate thing has disrupted that flow, which is why they're now scrabbling around, because it's interrupted the plan.
Well, from what I'm understanding, like, I guess they're kind of trying to backpedal after that video just got exposed today.
What video?
You haven't seen it yet, the smoking gun video yet?
Let me find the fucking link.
I'm playing some right now, so I'll look at it in a few.
It's about an hour long, but it gets pretty damn wicked. They, like, somewhere, like, towards the closer to the end of this whole video, or not the whole video, but the end of this conference that's being recorded on here, close to the end of it, they even start talking about how, oh, we need to figure out how to eliminate fun within the game and within games and all that stuff.
Everything makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? Really, when you hear that sort of shit.
It gets even creepier because they start saying, okay, well, how do we figure out? We have to figure out how to get ourselves into this industry, how we're going to take over it. We want to make games to no longer be about fun, but be about being used for tools to sway the behaviors we want out of people. It's
and I
very, very
really wish I could find the tweet from October that I'd done about this. I think
just
Sargon
posted the video.
said something. I basically Sargon had put something out now. I tweeted a reply that said they don't want games, they want tools of propaganda. I think it was.
I'm gonna put the Twitlonger link in there as well, because there's a bunch of other links that talk about this stuff. But the main thing is that this Heather Kelly woman kind of connected all the dots together for what was going on. Everything that Gamergate had conspired to believe that was going on, and all the speculation
was true.
Solidified it. We all knew there was some type of weird connections going on, and this pretty much exposed that and showed it off. The last two links in the big long list of links I have on the sidebar here is one, the video, and two, the Twitlonger that someone posted. It was even posted in somewhere all over fucking Twitter.
So
it's all over the place now.
Yeah, we'll get Leon to put it in the description when he comes back. But
okay,
Oh, you are? Well, we'll get the shit in the description then, because it's important shit.
Yeah, because
Twitter has been blowing up, to say the least.
That thing was talked about, that smoking gun. I was surprised. I looked her up, too.
Twitlonger thing, what was it, video or Twitlonger?
Well, there's a video and a Twitlonger.
Which one is it? I see two things.
Both! The videos
the very last one in my in the chat sidebar here is the Twitlonger, and the one right before that is that YouTube video from some guy named OMF or something, Ninja.
Oh my god, Ninja.
I've never heard of the guy until today.
Here, I'll put the links in the video below. I'm putting them in the.
And right now, Z, literally Z, is trying to.
They're trying to damage control. She's trying to say that we're all conspiracy theory. I'm like, dude, we have video evidence here of you guys talking about this crazy shit.
It's not a theory.
How is this speculation?
How is it a speculation? And you're trying to derail the conversation. And I'm looking at these images of people talking about this stuff, and it's like,
there's an 8chan board.
We're not even talking about you. We're not talking about you. But we're talking about the thing that Christopher Pooley and the PBS guy were involved in. It's not about you, Zoe. It's about those two now.
Well, it's not only that, but Zoe's connected with them.
Okay, there you guys go. I put them in the link, both the Twitlonger and everything else.
Okay.
Now damage control is begun.
Here
so what are they going to do? So what are they going to do after this? So what do you think is going to happen if this gets put out there? We have to make this. We have to
can't be any more misogynistic than we already are. So
call me misogynistic again. We just proved you wrong.
I just posted the 8chan thread on the sidebar in our chat here too for you guys to look at. There's a lot of people sitting there talking about what they're saying in the video in case you don't want to watch the whole thing. But the whole breakdown is, from what I saw of it, because I watched the whole conference. All they're talking about is how to use games to modify behavior, how to use them to push political agendas and propaganda, and the gaming industry to accomplish their goal. That's what they're doing most of this thing. And what I thought was really funny about it, and now I'm making a speculation on this, but usually I don't speculate. I go by what I've got in front of my face, but they talk a lot in one part of the whole video. They're talking about how the mobile space is used for gaming now and how they can utilize that. And then I thought it was kind of funny that recently Anita just came out promoting the hell out of a mobile game.
True.
I thought that was a little
She promoted several
this
mobile
is
games.
right here. This thing. Why are they trying to control attitude and stuff like that? That's the point that I'm trying to think is
emotions.
Well,
emotions to be controlled.
They could try to control my emotions all they want, but they ain't gonna do it.
Nothing is surprising in a larger context. If you look at history, right? I mean, people come up with people say cultural Marxists.
Dude,
right?
they even talk about him.
Well, look at what the Russian state did. They had even look at like what Germany did. You have official artists. You have you have like, oh, this is good music and this is bad music. This is good theatre. This is bad theatre. This is good opera. This is bad opera. Right? This elevates the states. This doesn't elevate the state. Let's ban that. Get that out. I mean, it's all the same thing. Like, and this is kind of the thing about every study saying, well, people aren't really affected by this shit, and you can see why, because this is the thing I think most people don't understand. Like anyone who's not in the gaming or film or television, it doesn't. I mean, because this is or theatre or anything, because this has always been the thing that's came up. Like even books, for Christ's sake, every type of information propagation you could think of, it's always come up. What's the argument always been? Well, if the wrong people get this information, that's going to be bad for society. That has always been the argument. And then what's the obvious thing you do? Well, of course, if one person gets that information and they cause destruction in society, that means you've got to ban it for everyone. But what's the other thing? Of course, you have an elite which says, oh, well, of course, we're untouched by all of this. We're untouched, completely untouched. We're able, those poor peasants who have no idea how they're being manipulated, that's fine. We can sort this all out for you. Which is ironic, of course, given, what was it? I'm pretty sure it was Femme Frequency who tweeted, those who think they're less likely to be affected by media are in fact those more likely to be affected by it, or something to that effect. I find that highly ironic, because they are basically setting themselves up as, well, of course, we are untouched by this. We are untouched by this, but my God, think about all those plebs that may possibly see this material, and they'll just go crazy.
See, here's the other thing that was interesting about the video. Somewhere in there, and I can't remember what mark it is in it, but they even mention Karl Marx. They even talk about his theory and how they need to use those theories and how to utilize them.
That is dangerous.
They talk about this stuff, and it's, dude, this is the scariest shit I've ever seen.
It's debunked. It's debunked as shit. I mean, if you want to look, okay, the social experiment's been done. Okay, look to history, right? Communism fucking failed, and it failed fucking hard. It's not a system that fucking works.
Well, it gets a little bit crazier too further in. He does start the guy Ninja. He made in the video. He does show off some stills of how Heather Kelly is connected with all of this, and she's the one that formed this thing. It's called the, what was it? It's called Controlled Invasion is the name of this video, and you can find it on YouTube. And what this video was talking about is how dangerous the gamer stigma is, how we need a certain set of ethics built within game design for game designers to follow our way of making games. At one point in there, the guy even said there's her little compadre that's working with her on this thing. He even says, I hate the AAA industry, and we need to get rid of it and shit like that.
Well, of course, it makes sense in the form of
what's the title of
Marxism.
the video again?
The title of the video?
Yeah.
The Smoking Gun.
Smoking Gun. I think it's called.
Yeah, but the other one
Gun.
that she made.
Controlled Invasion. Here, let me go ahead and pull that shit up.
Well, I was going to say, of course, it makes perfect sense. Why do you attack AAA developers if you're basically going for the Marxist system? Because, of course, they represent the most entrenched power of the capitalist system. Of course, you're going to attack them.
Well, here's the other thing about it is they're talking about utilizing the indie game scene to do a lot of these things. And what has happened over the past few years, indie development has exploded. And most of these social justice themed games come from the indie world. Because the AAA world they won't sell, right?
Of course they won't sell because people won't buy them. That's why
this is the thing.
And the only place that they can buy them on is Steam.
I want to make it clear that there's a lot of good indie shit that's out there. A hell of a lot of good indie shit.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying there isn't. I'm not saying there isn't.
No, I wasn't implying you were either. I'm just saying it's more. That's the only way they possibly could go, because they don't have billions of fucking dollars in budgets to be able to do like a game. That's what you need for a AAA. You need fucking millions. It's like the difference between having an independent film and a Hollywood fucking Avengers movie or something. You need the fucking money for that, right? There's no way around that shit, because you need to pay people, you need the computer graphics, all that kind of shit. So of course it's going to be independent. But that doesn't mean all the independence is smeared by that matter. It's just the only possible way you could possibly do that is through independent media. Of course, the problem is, of course, with Gamergate and all that, is where let's selectively pick the we'll say independent media needs some attention, and we'll individually select the ones that we think need promotion. And guess what? The ones we think need promotion are our friends, and they have our political beliefs and all that kind of shit. Hence Gamergate.
Okay, I'm going to put this on here. This is the other thing that came out of this that was interesting. After they do the conference part in the video, there's a part where they're showing this sort of documentary on the creation of this little mobile game, some type of soccer game for South Africans or something like that. And throughout it, it's talking about how we're going to use this to promote how bad violence against women is, and how to gear and change people's behaviors and whatever. After that too, he goes into showing these different conferences involving this guy named Jamian Warren. I can't pronounce it, but he's from the PBS game show. He's that guy.
Yeah.
I just posted his channel. You'll know his face.
Yeah. So I can't remember what video it was. He's basically having a go at like, you horrible sexist.
He was calling Gamergate sexist and all that. He's got a video all about Gamergate, but it gets funnier and a little weirder. Remember, we had what happened with Mook from 4chan, how he had this little falling out with his website, and he was getting rid of it, and he went full social justice nutso. Well, it turns out he's good friends with this Warren guy, and this Warren guy is also in this Controlled Invasion video, which Heather Kelly is making. Heather Kelly is also formerly part of 7 years with IGDA, not to mention she's also mixed up with Polytron again, which I mentioned earlier. It's weird, as every last bit of everything we've seen over these past 8 months has been connected in some form or fashion, and it looks like it all started back in 2011.
You see, you say it's weird. I say, actually, it makes everything make perfect. It's like, well, maybe
it's that missing link that we needed.
Yeah. It's a jigsaw puzzle, and I've lost these pieces, but now I've found the pieces, and I can complete the jigsaw puzzle.
I've dominated the floor here a little too long with my long.
Oh no, this is good shit, man. It's good shit.
Do any of you guys have anything to say about any of this stuff?
All I have to say is these people are nothing but a bunch of pathetic little hipsters. That's all I have to say.
Well, they managed to invade an industry.
And we're about to kick him out.
Us.
And let me just put it like this:
we're
about to kick him out. So.
Okay. Well, I did tweet this. It's like, I mean, okay, they clearly did. I mean, like I say, if we're talking about going back to 2000, was it 2011? You said this thing. You can see, like, people have talked about Atheism Plus and stuff. We've talked about SAWs going into other media, other forums. It blew up last year with Gamergate. Obviously, I mean, this is the thing. Clearly, what I didn't expect was just, and frankly, I didn't expect it. I didn't expect. Well, it's not just a fight. I mean, the most unexpected quarter of gamers, and I certainly didn't expect that. And I never really thought of myself as a gamer before this shit. It's like I've been playing games since I was like 6, but I never really even thought about it. And then somehow this shit has happened, and it's bizarre and interesting, but I mean, goddamn. That's what, I don't know what else to say, but goddamn.
You know what, though? I'm not surprised that it was gamers that wind up becoming the tools of their destruction.
I mean, how well are the social justice warriors doing right now?
Not very good at all.
So good.
They're losing pretty badly on every account that they try to go after.
Really, I mean, come on. They have crazy people like Randy Harper, Big Red, Zoe Quinn.
Well, let's put it this way. They're just hired thugs.
Yeah, they are just overweight.
I know this for a fact. In history, KGB used to hire spies. They don't always.
What's her name?
But then again, the KGB spies were competent, though.
Yes, they were competent, but they were also they also hired, but KGB spies also hired people to help them out.
Well, here's the thing. Why I'm not surprised that it was gamers is, look, comic book readers, comic books aren't as big as they used to be. When you look at Atheism Plus, that's a more isolated group of people. And then there was other medias that they went into. Now they come after gaming, a $80 billion industry beloved by people worldwide, and they didn't expect a backlash. Not only that, you pissed off a group of people that will spend 400 hours looking for a goddamn imaginary sword. You really wanted to test that patience?
Oh no.
That is so.
Yeah,
that's
that's
so
true.
true.
An imaginary sword.
All
Can
right.
I just
We are
put
the
my hand up?
bastards
Can we have like achievements anonymous? It's like, yes, I'm a gamer and I've tried to get 100% completion, and I'm an addict. I need help. God damn it.
I am about 46%
this
away from my goal on Diablo 3.
Just like how you said it, this information right here, what it's going to do is it's going to infuriate the gamers, and I think it's going to restart Gamergate back up again. If it works, it'll restart Gamergate back up, and they'll be on the defensive now, because when the game companies see this, it's going to be like, screw
Holy
that.
shit.
I mean, all the gaming YouTubers in there, male and female gamer YouTubers, they're going to be looking at this like, do I want to be controlled by these psychos? And all I have to say to you people, you big gamers out there, leave time to jump in the fight. Stop sitting around.
Jump the ship and get out of there.
Don't be afraid of the big name ones. Don't be afraid of the Vlogbrothers, what they say. I mean, you guys, you have more power than they do. I have to put this out here.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Leon.
This is all I have to say. Don't be afraid of the Vlogbrothers threatening to keep away from VidCon. All that'll do is damage VidCon's reputation. I'm telling this to the big name YouTubers all out there that are too afraid to stand up and fight in the Gamergate fights. Don't be afraid.
Let's put it this way: you don't have to
damage them. I mean, PewDiePie jumps on. I mean,
holy shit! I never knew they were SJWs.
Who?
The Vlogbrothers?
Yeah, they are.
I never knew that.
Hank is a Sarkeesian sympathizer. How I put Hank as. I'm not sure about John, but I know Hank for certain is a Sarkeesian sympathizer.
Oh my god! I used to watch their history videos all the time.
But they also
It was
support
cool.
Lacey Green, which is a funny thing.
But the funny thing is if we could turn around and turn everybody against the social justice warriors, if we could get the YouTubers' attention, we need to knock these crazy people out of our group just to sound a lot more saner. We can't be going all full Pole or full Ralph or even just within the last game stream that JT did or full Zan. We can't be doing that anymore.
Zan was right about one thing.
Yeah, but he went insane during his rant.
Yeah, but it wasn't that insane. It wasn't that insane.
No, but I have to say this. We have to stay freaking calm through this whole time. If this thing restarts again, which I have a feeling during E3, it's going to restart when we do our streams.
Yeah, I want to do the streams.
We have to be prepared for people like Lacey Green to come after us again because once we do, we have to appeal to people like PewDiePie and Markiplier. If we could get them on our side this time, there will be no hope for the social justice. The Vlogbrothers will have to say. No, let me put it like this: the Vlogbrothers will have to say. We can't support you guys because if we support you, we can't support Lacey Green anymore because if we do, the gaming YouTubers might actually divert people away from VidCon. All I have to say, like PewDiePie or anyone else says, is the Vlogbrothers are Anita Sarkeesian sympathizers. They're trying to kill gaming, avoid VidCon, and that right there could damage VidCon big time.
Well, we need to do our best to get that out there.
Yeah.
Leon, I've been sharing these videos and all this information that came out today all fucking day. I've been doing my best to get it out to everybody. I even sent shit to Jenny Barrage. She didn't want to run anything off of Base Gamer because she just doesn't want to focus on it.
Yeah, but she doesn't really care.
She wants to focus on rebuilding the media. She felt that it was a little too tabloidish for what they're trying to do. I said, that's cool.
This is like explosive news right here.
The only person I haven't sent it to is Alpha Omega. I've been sending this shit out to everyone I can think.
You haven't sent it to me because I haven't seen it on Twitter yet.
Oh, it's all over Twitter, but what was your Twitter
handle? Yeah, it is. It's all over Twitter. We've been sharing that stuff.
Leon_Gunstill.
Hopefully I got you on my shit here. I thought I did.
I just wanted to step in and echo your comments, Leon. It's very important. I mean, the unlikely circumstance that everybody in Gamergate watches this video, which obviously they should do because that's what they should do. But yeah, I mean, for fuck's sake, if you actually want, there is no point in reacting emotionally to this. Mm-hmm. If you want to really piss these people off, be like a robot. Be like Data, Lieutenant Commander Data. Be fucking analytical, logical, to the last. That's how you piss them off because.
You have Commander Riker.
There you are.
With binary.
Be Commander Riker.
Well, Commander Riker would fuck them, which I'm okay with.
Well, you remember that episode that he did with when Picard talked about him? The reason why he had him as a captain.
We must be like the Cisco.
No, he actually because he always disagrees with my.
Yes.
There's a tweet Brianna Wu said, Gamergate has no place in fandom. Not in video games, not in comics, not in sci-fi. This is our culture, not yours.
Not in porn industry either.
Brianna Wu. It's our culture. We're not Gamergate, we're gamers. It's our culture. Get out.
Well, that was related to the Hugo Awards things. There's a hashtag sad puppies, which is going around.
Yeah, it's something like what we invaded the Hugo Awards or some shit, or no? Well, we got Gamergate managed to get a bunch of people that were writer or a bunch of sci-fi writers they didn't want in there getting awards, and we got them in there or some shit like that. Right. I don't know the whole scope of it.
I think we.
All I know is that Philip K. Dick has been dead for years, and I'm sad for it.
He never got an award.
Well, no, he did. Well, that's the thing. We need more people who are willing to go on psychoactive drugs and put their life on the line for great sci-fi. That's all I know.
All right, Leon, I sent you a tweet with those links in it for you.
All right. Okay. All right, I'll be off for a second. I'll be back on in a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm fixing to go take a quick break. I'll be back, guys. You guys have fun.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm about to do another stream in an hour.
That's fine. I will dominate the discussion and fill up the dead air because that's what I do best. Just witter on about nothing and things of unsubstantial merit. But,
all I got to say is Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn.
I mean, goddamn, yes. I mean,
fucking Harley Quinn.
Is she the only character from a cartoon series, a Saturday morning cartoon series, who is so badass that she's introduced into the comics after the fact? I think she made it.
This. It wasn't Saturday. It was weekday.
Was it? Well, that's when Well, okay, I'm not going to talk about the American schedule because I'm not Americans, right? But for me, it was a Saturday morning cartoon. I only knew about that phrase afterwards.
Yeah, it was the first one.
My first waifu.
What? Well, you know what they say about your wafu, right?
Mr. J.
Yeah, you know what they say about your wafu, though, right? Your wafu is shit. It's always
your
waifu.
Yeah, your wafu is shit.
Wafu fin. Your wafu fin.
Your waifu like jackfu.
Yeah, it's always a joke there. But yeah, there's like this horrifyingly funny game. It's sort of a kung fu parody off of White Knighting on Newgrounds, and there was this person filing suit for defamation of character.
Oh, that guy! I remember him.
Funny thing,
Steve.
He's trying to sue Newgrounds, and they have experience with this because they fought off the BBC for doing a Teletubbies game.
Oh my god, are these people just okay? Yeah, it's fucking Newgrounds, you fucking morons.
Yes, you're never gonna win. You're never gonna win just because it's a game featuring Karate Steve.
Yes, that's basically what it is.
If you're watching this, we're sorry, but you became the most famous internet person in history. Deal with it.
I don't know if any of you guys ever heard this shit, but I've heard this shit about millennials are digital natives. and I've heard this shit from the business side because I work for a big corporation. They're like, "Oh, how can we deal with millennials? They're digital natives." And I'm like, "No, they're fucking not." It's like they don't know any. It's like like the implication being is they understand computers much better. It's like they understand computers just as well as somebody who grew up in a world with cars understands how to take apart a carburetor. And I can't take apart a carburetor. I can tell you that fucking much, right? So the ludicrous implication that somehow if you're born in the world with these things, you understand them inherently better. It's like, give me any one of these fucking hipsters and put them up against me, and it's like, I fucking program these fucking things for a living. You want to tell me you understand a computer better than I do? Fucking good luck. Good fucking luck. That's all I can tell you. No. What a load of fucking bullshit. But the thing they should be good at is understanding the digital culture, like the online culture. Yeah. And when you fuck that up, when I know the digital culture, I mean, to be fair, I have been online since, 93 or so, in various guises, because the web was a new thing back then. If you can't understand online culture as well as I do, I think you fucked up there seriously.
Yeah,
and online culture's
non-culture, you are screwed.
And online culture is a big fucking thing. And if these are guys that are spending all their day and night online, it's like, how the fuck do I know this shit? And you don't. I don't understand, because it's like, I'm going to work every fucking day, and I'm not on the Twitter, I'm not on the Facebook and all that shit. I'm fucking blah, 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 typing all day long, doing the codes, all that kind of shit. Frankly, I'd rather be like out of this shit. I want to know what all random fucking idiots in the world are doing, but I kind of been dragged into this shit, and it's like I have no choice but to get involved because this is some massive bullshit.
He threatened to kick our ass.
Yes.
Please do.
Come and try.
He said he will fight us with his kung fu, and I'm like, yeah.
First of all, you don't even know fucking kung fu. The best you know is a crane style that was adapted by Okinawans, and then
you're the best around. Never gonna. Sorry, David Master came in mind there.
Around. Which of course actually brings up.
I love that picture of that guy in his karate gi. It's so fucking funny just to look at him. He looks so stupid in it.
I know.
Would it be like one of these chi masters? You're like, well, I can fight just using my chi. Ugh! And then all his students fall down, and he fights someone who can actually fight, and he just gets punched
within his, pelvic area.
Well, I would love that. It's like, I can fight using my chi, and it's like, well, I'm just going to smack you in the face and see how well that does.
Just kick him in the balls and run. That's all you gotta do.
In the balls.
Yeah, you would think that in Dragon Ball Z that the villain would just think to do that. Instead of just letting the Kamehameha charge up, Cell would just bull rush Gohan and kick him in the nads.
Okay, now I'm thinking of Commando. I'm going to shoot you between the eyes.
I got a gun in my room.
I'm going to shoot you between the balls.
Together. Both of us.
I'm sorry, Steve, but you became famous to begin with when you threatened Gamergate.
Oh, well, there's got to be a lot of fucking people who are like this. To be fair, hands up, I would say, well, I kind of like being known and shit. It's like doing this sort of shit, which is kind of fun. But it's like I've got a fucking real life and a real job and all that shit, so I earn my money that way. But there's got to be a lot of people out there just see Gamergate as an opportunity. It's like, fuck it, my main source of income is all fucking online and shit, advertising, clicks, whatever. So I'm gonna ride that little fucker and get the most fucking clicks out of that shit as I can.
Yeah, let me show you the images that they did with him. It was so ridiculous. Let's see if I can get it on here.
They made him into like an 8-bit kung fu shit.
Oh,
Next time I see him pop up in my Twitter stream, I'm gonna just send him this picture or this video right here.
Yeah, they sent emails.
He looks so stupid in that picture. Look at him. He's like,
I know.
Look like somebody kicked him in the fucking ass or some shit.
I know.
It felt so fucking awkward. Like he was in his skivvies or something. Come on.
I mean, it kind of looks like it looks like he's holding a butt plug or something in his ass. He's just like, whoa.
Here's an important question. Why is
but here's the original. I think I can find the original image. Here's the original image.
It's right there. I see it right there in your Google thing. That's the original image. Oh god.
This is cultural appropriation, if I'm not mistaken. No white man should be allowed. What the fuck is with his hair? What the fuck?
I don't know. That was.
If you're gonna,
But here was the original. Here was the tweet that he did.
Fucking hell, man.
Yeah, if you're gonna post that picture, seriously, make yourself look like a badass when you do it.
My black belt kung fu outfit ready to take the fight to Gamer Game Nerds. Hashtag written.
Oh, he is so bad.
No, man, if you're gonna wear your pajamas, for Christ's sake, those are PJs. That's what it is.
Yeah, and he calls himself Mr. Brilliant.
Bring your ancestors back to life, for God's sake.
That's why they called him. They nicknamed him Karate Steve.
Well, they did. Well, Gamergate did manage to summon the great Nurgle into this also.
Well, it's quite simple. All I'd have to do is sweep the leg, and of course he's not allowed to do that, so I'd win.
Just kick him in the balls.
He threatened to call the police on us.
That's if he has any balls.
So who
one of us,
guys? What's going on? I just came in the middle of a conversation. What happened?
We were showing Karate Steve.
Oh, talking about kicking Karate Steve in the balls.
Yes, you can see right here. This is one of the screenshot tweets that he did. Yes, everybody thinks about Karate Steve.
I'm not sure if I'm following you. Oh, I haven't followed you yet. There we go. I follow you now.
You haven't seen Karate Steve before?
No, I mean, no, I haven't.
All right.
Yes,
there are movies I haven't seen.
Gotta follow this guy. His name is Mr. Brilliant, known as Steve.
Steve
Okay,
I can't think
yes,
Mr.
everybody
Brilliant.
follow this guy because he is crazy.
Okay, so this
I
guy
love
is
crazy.
Karate Steve. He's the
Okay, I
internet
retweeted that
celebrity.
tweet you sent me.
All right, this is funny. I got to read this one out loud. The guy from Twitter, I don't want to say his name out loud, but you'll see it floating around. It was on his Ask FM. It says somebody asked him, "Is Sarkeesian fuckable or am I just thirsty?" He said, "If she didn't have the painted on eyebrow thing, like some scary Mexican hoochie, she wouldn't be all that bad."
Gonna need a Zensu for that one.
Oh God.
Well, all I can say is that's slut shaming because I'm a massive slut and I would definitely fucking need to. I'd fuck anyone. I'd fuck Randy Harper. Jesus, I'd fuck all of them.
I was
I'm a massive
blue
slut.
bar.
Yeah, Desusex, you have you are the least shallow person on the planet. So congratulations.
I'm a massive.
Okay.
All I can say is I'm a slut. The feminists should love me. I'm a massive slut.
Hey, I'm
I
gonna
posted Twitter in the chat so I can follow it because I can't
I'm
spell
gonna
it.
be perfectly honest. I'm gonna be perfectly honest on this. No, I would never touch the blue har with not even my best friend's dick. But I need a Sarkeesian. Yeah, I can tap it.
She's got the
Oh,
Armenian
man.
shit
Cute.
going on.
She's got a cute. I'm not even gonna lie.
There is only one way I would even touch either of those two. And this is going to show my nerd stripes. Death Strike Tactical Missile. Infinite range. T-minus 5 minutes and counting.
I mean, Anita would be cool.
Apocalyptic Blast. Barrage.
I'm
I
cool
just
with
wanna-
Anita
I
as
just
long
wanna-
as McIntosh ain't in the room.
I just want to say there's about 1 million Mr. Brilliant, so I'm going to need the precise Twitter handle, otherwise I'm not going to follow this fucker.
That's what we need.
Please.
We need to make a hashtag sexy SJWs.
I don't even want to go anywhere near that area. I'm talking. I don't want to be not just because they complain about being sexually harassed all the time. I don't want to give them legitimate reason for it to happen. Okay.
I'll give him some legitimate sexual harassment.
Do that with it on Twitter, but still.
It's just ridiculous.
I'll give the sexual harassment that women come back for time and time again.
They
100%.
might as well just accuse us of being
They're if some of them are probably watching this, and if they do, they're probably going to start tweeting out loud, "Oh my God, they're talking about having sex with us. Stream rape."
Leon is not talking about that at all.
hashtag.
The views of the stream do not necessarily
So,
express the views of Leon. I just want to say, Leon is abdicated from all this. These are just random people who are talking.
Okay,
Leon is
good.
definitely not a rapist. That's what I say.
And of course, Karate Steve, if you're watching this,
Karate Steve, yes.
yes, if you're watching this, we are talking about you. We apologize, but you became famous.
Yeah, if
Deal
you're
with
So
it.
quit whining and start punching the pole like a man.
Guys, here it is. TMZ Gamergate
Yes.
edition.
Start breaking some balls, man. Come on.
I mean, come on, we're the TMZ of Gamergate. All
Well,
of us.
I followed Anita Sarkeesian out of the house the other day, and she had one of the hoopy earrings. It was out of place.
Okay,
It was out of place. It was disgusting. My God, she
I
can't
don't
even
know.
get those hoopy earrings symmetrical. This is
I
disgusting.
became a
do
mercenary
you have
for
do you have a
hire.
video camera where it's like, Anita, have any thoughts on this?
I just laugh.
Following around aggressively.
Oh
following-
man, they really. I'm gonna probably have to show that video around. Be like, oh my God, they are.
Her
Really
flannel didn't match her hair. It was disgusting. She is a fashion disaster. Hashtag fashion disaster.
Hashtag she's the only. She's one of the few social justice wearers with normal colored hair.
I think most people. I think
disgrace.
if we can get
Oh, no,
a
have
fashion
you not
designer
seen-
to show up and be like,
No, you
would criticize everything that social justice wears, they'll be like, oh my God, that was so last year.
Nurgle, you've not seen Anita Sarkeesian with the red stripe. It's a bit like in Frozen, where I can't remember the name. The sister has a little grey stripe.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, it's
Yes,
well,
little red
that-
stripe.
That's to accentuate the fact that she has the power to burn things to the ground just by staring at it. That's what that red stripe means. It's obvious she's an agent of corn.
Dating a corn.
Heresy.
I've been saying since
I
the beginning.
demand
This
to
is
see
all.
your physical prowess in melee.
Wait
All
a
I
minute,
can
she
say
may not
is-
be an agent of corn. She might be an agent of Zinch. I mean, these SJWs do talk about change and all that shit, right?
Yes.
It's Illuminati. It's Illuminati all the way. Have you not seen the number of triangles? There's a lot of triangles involved.
Yeah, there's a
Hoopy
lot of
earrings,
triangles
A lot of
involved.
triangles. It's all Illuminati.
No, actually, there's like
the
what?
hoopy earrings. The hoopy earrings. Well, the hoopy earrings are the all-seeing eye. Of course, that's where Anita's
Yes.
given herself away from the Illuminati taskmasters.
All-seeing eye, but Zinch uses
Two
a
of them.
lot of
Two
eyes
of them, for
too.
Christ's
So
sake.
they became the internet Illuminati.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm just saying some of them may or may not be lizard people. Not naming names. I know everything because I'm an inner member of the Illuminati, so I know everything that's going on.
Well, that's okay. That's cool, man. I'm actually a member of that reptilian race. I'm with the lizard people.
Well, fuck you, man.
As long as you're not
get
in
the
the
fuck
lizard
out.
squad, I'm fine.
I'm a
Not
part
I
of
don't
the.
know about
squad.
you guys. I'm
No,
just
the
waiting for
lizard
the God Emperor to show up and start kicking ass.
I'm a part of the Patriots. Nah, I'm just a Seahawks fan.
I do not understand your reference to American hand egg.
I'm a firm follower of the patriarchy. I'm tired of seeing donuts being oppressed.
Donuts are being oppressed.
I say that all the time.
Bagel master race, you pleb.
Here's
I
a
am-
serious question.
I
then.
am a mahoganyst. I'm not a misogynist. I'm a mahoganyst.
Here's a serious question then. Is Jamfield heresy, or does it have to be ringed, or is Jamfield okay? I don't know.
Anything-
What?
Jelly-filled donut, heresy, yes or no?
Yeah.
Jellyfield don't. No, it is not heresy.
Okay. Well, you're saying
You
then
should
the
not
ringed
have to repent
donuts.
from having jelly donuts.
Would you
Okay,
like?
but ring
the
donuts
question
surely
is,
are the original.
Ring donuts are the original.
what about the cream filling ones?
That's heresy.
Glazed or
Glazed is not heresy.
glazed or powdered?
Powdered. Which one came first, actually?
Okay.
Sprinkles?
Powdered or glazed?
I'm looking.
Sprinkles
through
is an
Twitter right now.
abomination.
There we go.
Is there anything
It's not
hilarious
natural.
going on in Gamergate news? Is there anything freaking hilarious?
I know that the only thing I know is that Chobit Coin is gonna be sued.
Really?
Apparently, yeah, I heard about that.
How is
Yeah.
that gonna happen? How is
Oh,
that
we all
even
proved
legally
that Randy
possible?
was lying about her swatting incident.
Yeah, and I was a little pissed off that Sushi decided to post it. Sorry about your swatting like that. I went
Well,
like,
she-
she
I
didn't have to
understand
do
where
that.
she
Nothing
was
to
getting
her.
at, though, but I think she posted that too, though, right before we found out it was fake.
Yeah, I hope she detracts that.
She doesn't realize that it wasn't really. It was just a parking ticket back in 2001.
Yeah, it took me a little while to analyze it too, because I was like, well, you know what, we might have to take her word for it on this one because there's really no proof. Then that
It's
shit
like,
that
oh
I
my
saw,
God,
I was
I
like,
got
wait a
swatted.
minute, this doesn't even look right.
She's
Yeah,
just,
it was actually just a parking ticket that she was asked to pay.
And
It
her
does-
story about the cops coming in to discuss online harassment, like, dude, the cops are not going to come in your house and fucking raid you, and then sit around and have tea and talk about fucking.
Yeah, they're not
It's
gonna
like
do
it's
that.
like
Okay,
if I show up at your house as a cop, I'll be like, get down on the ground now, go.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be
cops
shit
do
like
not
that.
make house calls unless
No.
you're pulling out a 6-iron.
And
Okay,
people-
well, you
well-
Americans do not understand the joy of being British. I often just call out the local bobbies and just say, "Come around, we'll have a cup of tea. I'll just discuss whatever issues happen to bother me." They just happily sit there and go, "Oh no, we don't have any real crimes to investigate or anything. Let's talk about Gamergate. Let's do that."
I don't know, man. I'm afraid of you, that your bobbies over there, man. They don't even carry guns. They got to be some hard motherfuckers because they carry
No,
they're not.
people of England are.
Spoilers, they're not.
It depends though, because if you ever come to London, I don't know if you have ever come to London before, but
No, I've
if
been to
you're-
Scotland actually.
Scotland.
I went to Glasgow and I didn't get to go to Edinburgh though.
Good. Well, I've never been there. Fuck it. This is something I know people who live there who I've worked with, and it's like I've never been there. I really have to go there. Anyway, that's a side topic. The important thing is, in London, there's, as you would expect, there's a lot of embassies. I used to live in West London, where there's basically that's where the majority of them are around. And you get red police cars. Now, the red police cars are sort of diplomatic police. Those guys carry MP5s. So,
Oh shit.
yeah, you don't want to fuck with those guys.
So red's bad. Got it.
No, so those are the red guys, the red police.
They don't wear red, but you see
Red,
them in the
you're
police
dead.
cars. Red cars. Red. Well,
you're
Red
dead.
cars. But what
Yeah.
about the ones in that wear like the light green?
oh, they're just plebs.
Oh, I gotta say something about police forces here in America. My cousin, she was a deputy for a local sheriff. They had an M16, a fully automatic M16 in the backseat of the car if they ever got an outgun situation. So this is just normal patrol cars. They have things like shotguns where you just press the button, the shotgun will come off from the roof or something like that. And they'll have M16s in the trunk.
Yeah, they had to put those locked up because the reason why they could easily get stolen.
Yeah. But they have it as there's like a certain way for you to press the buttons, and they'll have people that go on ride-alongs, and they'll say if something happens, this is how you do it, and you just go through switching situations, stuff like that. Not sure how it works, but they go through this like way of how you get it opened, and when you get it open,
they have a code. They have a code for it.
Yeah.
So what I was
basically-
saying basically is we don't have lawgiver technology by now, where if you are not a judge and you pick up a gun, then your hand gets burnt off. Which, frankly, I'm disgusted about. This is what we need: lawgivers.
They're getting close to that technology where they can start implementing them into the handles of the into the pistol grips of the weapons where you pick
have
it up,
to
it
have
won't be
they have a-
operational.
Didn't they do that with tasers?
No, I don't know.
Not yet. They did it with a ring where you can actually use your ring.
one. Yeah, you have a ring or something.
Yeah,
Just wear a ring and you can fire the gun.
There's still a lot of controversy around tasers because people are still actually getting killed from being tased.
Yeah,
Well, that's the thing,
So
it's like,
there's
well,
still a
we
lot
have-
of problems with that thing right now.
We do have tasers over it. I mean, because they're obviously touted as the non-lethal option, despite the fact, obviously, if you've got a heart condition or any number of things, it could be fatal. I mean, you're still shoving electricity for a person. It's like
Fuck
it's not
that. Go
necessarily a
back to
fucking
rubber
good thing.
bullets.
Yeah,
Well,
you're still cooking them internally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
it-
But
it's
my
not
thing
good
is
for you in general.
my thing was here is like I was looking into the whole Randy Harper thing about her being swatted and all this and what she was saying, talking about how they came in and visited with her. Dude, I know many police officers, if they get called out to your house and they come over there, even if they're not going to swat your home, they're going to knock on the door. They're going to ask what the fuck's going on. They're going to talk to you real quick, and it's going to be business, 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 and they're going to be like, all right, have a nice day, ma'am, bye. They're not going to stick around and
She's
bullshit,
delusional,
smoke
and,
a
no
cigarette.
Cops
She
are like Joe
won't,
Friday in the
and,
state than anyone else.
if I
Well,
was-
I have had a couple of personal experiences with people. It's like once I got robbed in the house, and they were very nice. The ones that came around. Obviously, they were like, right, we need to wait at the scene for the forensic guy to get here. So basically the questions were, have you touched anything? What have you done? What's the story? What's going on? All that kind of stuff as you'd expect. Like the other part of it was just like, are you okay? Do you need any support? All this kind of stuff that you would expect. It's like, I'm okay. It's fine. It's like, I'm kind of pissed off about it. And that's basically what I said. I'm kind of really pissed off about it. It's like, it's terrible. Really wish it didn't happen. It's ruined my fucking day. But it's like, I'm glad that you're sort of here. I'm always willing to give. I mean, like I say, the nice people. I'm always going to give the benefit of that doubt to anyone, especially someone in quite a difficult job like that. Not the same as America. I know they have a lot of problems.
Yeah.
The only other time that I had to deal with the police is where I had a really crazy fucking. This is before my place now, where I live in on my own. I had a flatmate who was. He basically was like a really evangelical guy. He went crazy Jesus, and he would like shout in the middle of the night, saying hallelujah and shit. And it's like, this is not what you fucking want. But at one point he went fucking crazy violent and shit. And it's like he fucking had a go at a cop, for Christ's sake. It's like look at this guy. Look, man, you don't have a fucking pop at the. You don't try to punch a police officer. What the fuck is wrong with you? But unlike the States, he didn't get shot dead because that's not how we work in the United Kingdom. But
well, the thing is with cops in America, at least where I'm from and what I've dealt with police officers. I've dealt with police officers in southern Texas and over here, of course, in Virginia. And the police officers here tend to be trained more in a militaristic style. They tend to be more militaristic. And when they deal with people, they deal with them in a military manner where it's
just do this, do that.
Business all the way. It's not about chit-chatting or anything. They will be nice and they will be calm to people that obviously had just recently suffered trauma or something from an incident. But when they're dealing with a person or a possible suspect, they're not going to sit there and
they're going to be constantly pounding you for information about, okay, what's going on here? How did this happen?
Exactly.
Like someone actually
does sound like need some training and some sympathy for, like, I mean, I hate to say it, like, believe the victim. It's like, obviously, I mean, this is the thing you always hear from the feminists about rape and stuff, but I mean, that's not an unreasonable thing. Someone's call you up. It's like, you give me sympathy. I mean, who knows what facts come out later, but in the initial moment, you're just there to reassure, collect the evidence as you can, make sure things are running on smoothly, but not there to antagonize, which is what you're kind of describing. It sounds antagonistic.
Yeah, I mean, they approach it in a manner of investigation. They don't approach it and go, okay, well, we're here to be your friend. They're not like that.
I mean, I talk about investigation sounds fine, but I'm more talking because it sounded quite aggressive. Like, I'm like accusationary.
Yeah, well, they don't. I've never dealt with any that have been very accusational towards you, but I have seen some fairly aggressive police officers in my time, and I'll tell you though, they just deal with things differently than what she was putting out there. It just didn't even smell. The story didn't smell right. I don't know. Maybe San Francisco cops are all hipsters too. I don't know.
I have a story about the San Francisco cop.
Okay.
I do have a story because, I went there, was it 2 years ago? I did a tour of California and Nevada. I call it the San Andreas tour because obviously San Andreas is based on Las Vegas, it's based on LA, and it's based on San Francisco, as everyone knows, right? So I basically did all those cities, and so I call it the San Andreas tour. Anyone who knows gaming knows what that means exactly. So started off in LA, went to... Well, obviously, it starts with LA, then you go to San Fran, and then you go to Las Vegas, but I did it, obviously, LA, Las Vegas, then San Fran. And San Fran was interesting because, obviously, Vegas is famous for its debauchery and whores and all that stuff, and you just get whores all over the place, even just the women who are just there, obviously, on a hen do. I don't know what you call it like a bachelorette or something like that. They got their tits hanging out all over the place. It's like, for fuck's sake, woman, have some dignity. But
they don't.
Yeah, in San Francisco is interesting because the prostitutes are basically just women who talk to you on the street. So I was just outside having a little cigarette, outside my hotel. This woman just randomly starts talking to me. And then a cop on a fucking motorcycle just looks at me and goes, how you doing this? It's like, well, I'm just having a fucking chat. And it's like, well, you have a good day, sir. It's like, at that point, I realised something was up. And it's like, why was this guy having interest? And I realised at that point, why was this woman talking to me? Well, obviously, she was a prostitute. And that's just how they fucking operate in San Francisco. And there's women who look like fairly normal women, but they just randomly talk to dudes. That's how it operates out there.
They do that a lot.
Although I will say the strangest experience I ever had with women was when I was in Boston during St. Patrick's Day, dressed in my dress blue uniforms, my dress blue Navy uniform. Oh my God. It's a good thing I was married because I'd have gotten in a lot of trouble. I mean, seriously, I was just walking into bars. I didn't pay for a single beer that night or a single shot. I just walk into a bar like, oh, hey, you're a sailor here. I'm like, really? Who are you?
Well, I'll tell you what, man, you wouldn't get that over here. I mean, America, that's definitely a benefit. If you're in the fucking services, people treat you like a god.
Not exactly. You get some of that treatment depending on where you go, but you also get treated like 100% dirt to other people too. Like if you go out into Norfolk, Virginia, where the main naval station is, you'll drive by people's houses that have signs that say "All sailors keep off the grass." I mean, they'll treat you like dirt over there too.
I'm sure that's because they probably had bad experiences.
There's a lot of places I wouldn't go after hearing about the legal systems in there. There are a lot of countries I wouldn't go to now because of the legal stuff.
Well, one place I'll never go back to again is the Ukraine after that got the crap beat out of me over there.
What happened?
A few years back when I was in the service, when I was in deployment, we took a week and a half port visit to the Ukraine. And when that day we were there was a rival soccer game going on. I guess over there they have soccer hooligans, so whenever one team wins, they go beat the shit out of the fans of the other team.
This is Europe for you. What do you expect?
Well, I mean, yeah, Ukraine is competing with England as far as soccer hooliganism goes on.
So I happened to be wearing the wrong color shirt and wound up getting jumped by like 16 soccer hooligans.
They had the balls to attack a U.S. servicemen. Do they really want to get killed?
Well, they didn't know I was a serviceman because when
you fight them off?
I actually was so beaten. I was like, that's it. I got to get up and run. There's 16 motherfuckers on me here. And I didn't realize, for one, it's actually kind of a friendly thing because after they do it, they would just pick you up, dust you off, and go drinking with you. But, you know, here I am, a bleeding mess, running from these people, and they don't know you're a service member because when you're there, you're not allowed to leave the ship in uniform because you're considered a possible target. You could get kidnapped by God knows who that might want to hold you ransom.
Well, films have lied to me because I'm expecting you to be going out doing musicals in the streets.
Oh man! And the thing about it is after it had happened, the police for the Ukraine were like, oh, you come to our police station and we'll get your story and everything. I'm like, no, I'm not going with you. There's some shady-looking fools, too. I'm just like, no. They're like, oh, but we'll help you out. I'm like, either two things are going to happen. They're going to lock my ass up to keep me quiet, or they're going to hand me a little bit of money to just shut me up. I was like, no, I'm going back to my ship. Because there, though, if you get arrested in the Ukraine, they don't have a SOPA agreement. And a SOPA agreement is if a service member gets arrested or in trouble, the Navy or whatever service can take that person back into their custody. They don't have that, so they get to keep you in their custody. So I didn't want to get locked up in Ukrainian jail for doing jack shit.
That's probably a wise decision. I mean, I have a friend who was born in the Ukraine during the communist era, and so he's got Russian nationality, and he's quite well off actually. He's got quite well a family, but I remember telling me stories about all this shit, and it's like Russia is corrupt as fuck, unbelievably corrupt. It's like if you get like, you go out driving, you've always got to have a couple of rubles on you because you never know when a police officer's going to come up and stop you for some bullshit. It's just like, here's a couple of rubles, officer. Can I get on my way? Yes, I'm going on my way now. It's like, well, if anyone's ever wondering why there's so many YouTube videos of Russian cams, on dashboards and shit. That's the reason why. That's the reason why, because the police are as corrupt as fuck. And I assume it's probably quite similar in Ukraine. I mean,
we have corrupt cops here in the U.S. as well. All I have to say is we do have a lot of corrupt police officers here. But, I mean, for instance, my home county, where I used to live, there was this one officer who harassed my family just because he didn't like him and got a couple family friends of mine in trouble and had falsified charges pressed against him. So, yeah, I do know how bad corrupt cops can be. Well, he got fired in the end. He had his ass fired in the end, and a lot of people in Montana view him as a piece of shit now, even though I always thought he was a fat piece of shit.
Oh,
it's definitely a problem in America. Like I said, because of the worship of servicemen.
Italy has a problem too with police.
I would have to say
Italy does have a problem, and same with Mexico. I've heard Mexico definitely has an issue.
I mean, after hearing about the one trial, I'm not going to go by name.
Yeah, in Mexico, it gets hilarious though. Imagine you're like the mafioso, and then you know who to bribe, you know which party's in charge, and then people decide to up and elect a brand new leader, brand new party, and just ruin your whole pay scheme, and you have to renegotiate everything, and things don't negotiate so well.
Yeah, they tend to kidnap your family members or something like that when it happens.
Yeah, there's always been something wrong. I mean, Mexico is not well. It's not like heavily policed like the U.S. is. The corruption just screws them up big time in that country.
Yeah. There's something else that I can tell you about where I used to live. Oh God, I hated that place. There was people were saying that this guy killed himself in a movie theater.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the funny thing was the gun was missing.
Yeah.
How can a suicide happen when the gun is missing?
Someone takes the gun after the suicide.
It was a magic gun.
Look at my banner. What does it say? Gamergate time terrorist. Obviously, he was a time terrorist. He assassinated himself by going into the future and then going back to kill himself in the past.
But
Are you telling me this guy had a TARDIS?
You can quit quoting Redford.
The funny thing was, the police were like, "Okay, this was a suicide, and the gun is missing. It's obviously someone. It was actually a suicide." It was like the guy who shot probably murdered him, and they couldn't find the gun.
Well, you hear this a lot about basically laziness. It's like, we could investigate this shit, but that sounds like a lot of effort.
I know. They were like,
that's why in like
suicide.
Texas,
that's it.
That's why for like Texas, for instance, there's like a bunch of falsified executions and stuff like that. It's because they're too freaking lazy in that state to actually. No offense to people from Texas, but
plus, we love it.
I am a Texan.
But I'm just saying
good execution.
But I just saying
execution.
But I'm just saying you guys have like a bunch of Texas basically has just a bunch of
Well, there's one thing I can say about Texas is 1, we love our guns.
Yeah.
2, we love our guns.
Yeah.
3, we love the lethal injections. And 4, we love to kill people, obviously.
I would have thought you say 3.
One thing I like about Montana is we love our guns, we love our guns, we love our guns, we hate corruption. That's what I love about my state.
You see, though, there's a lot of corrupt cops in the U.S., of course. Everywhere there's corrupt police in every state.
There's going to be some.
You're going to see it.
There's some that are pretty good.
For the most part, the police in the U.S. are not bad. And they're very good police officers for the most part. But the problem is now everybody's afraid because the media doesn't shut the fuck up, and that's all they talk about is, oh, so-and-so cop shot so-and-so this week. You know, it's like,
it's irritating.
On all the negative.
And the funniest thing is, going back to social justice where it's coming, I've seen this from Lacey Green after the riots, after they didn't want to charge him, after like the grand jury failed to charge the officer Darren Wilson with the murder of that one boy. Lacey Green was like going, "Hooray for like you deserve all the businesses burning down." I'm thinking to myself, "Oh, you dumb Oakland-bound idiot."
The thing that I didn't like
because
about it was...
because people in Oakland, if you've ever been to if you ever been to the Bay Area, you know that Oakland is that respected of a city.
Well, the problem with these people is the fact that, well, actually, the problem with the stories that the media runs is they're not telling you the full story.
No.
They leave so many pieces out because it's supposed to be juicy. Think about the recent, what was it? Was it NBC that ran that smear piece on Gamergate? It was all just the propaganda.
Oh, yeah, the one with Anita Sarkeesian talking about how she was... I'm fear for my life every day. Every day you have to have armed guards. Look at these burly men. Look at them. Look at them.
Now, here's the thing. Do you think NBC gave a flying fuck with the fact that their YouTube video has gotten over 30 plus
I thought that was
8 views?
No.
Or,
They actually think that might be a good
views. That's what they want. Views. They get more money. The more people watch, the more people see it. That's why they make their money.
Pretty much
they don't give a fuck about how they smear it.
Well, that does rely on advertising. I mean, I don't know about you. I mean, I'm so...
They can say whatever the hell they want, but...
NBC can do anything they want.
They can suck my dick.
But although I did find this funny there was a David Pakman video recently where he was pointing out that NBC's viewership has dropped significantly low since this year.
Yes.
And all I could think back was like, holy shit, this is like karma biting them in the ass.
You know what? All I have to say is they want to continue the social justice attitude. I despise Fox News, but to the point I actually find it hilarious that Fox News is getting more viewership than MSNBC is. Reason why? They actually stick to the crazy things they know. They know how to be crazy. MSNBC doesn't.
Well, not only that. See, here's the thing, though, too, and what it shows me, especially after the NBC coverage of Gamergate, what it shows me is the mass public is just not buying this social justice crap when it comes out there.
And that's what I'm trying to say. Even if they were to come overlord, and let me just put it like this, like social justice overlords type of thing. Where they try like putting laws and stuff like that. They try taking control of the government. I mean, yeah, that's just crazy talk basically. But
well, you got to remember what Barack Obama says. I gotta. The women are being paid 77 cents to the dollar. This is something Barack Obama gonna do something about. I'm gonna do something about this.
Gentlemen, I will be back here in a few minutes. My wife just asked me to bring her soup, and she doesn't like it when I say no soup for you.
I'm about to. Wait, you don't want to be the soup Nazi? You don't want to be the soup Nazi today?
Well, I think
I've got to live with this woman. If I'm the soup Nazi, she'll make my life a living fucking hell.
I think somebody's under a matriarchy.
I love how someone said it.
Somebody's living under a matriarchy.
Yeah. I think every marriage is a matriarchy.
Yeah, it is.
I'm okay with it. I like it.
You know what?
The marriage was best.
Only every sitcom ever made has made that point plainly clear. But yes, apparently men have ruled everything. Ever.
This is the thing. And this is exactly what I've always said to all my friends who want to get pissy about their girl or their wife, and I always tell them, I said, look, she's always going to make you feel like you are in charge. She's always going to tell you, you the man of the relationship. You run the show. But the truth is, she runs the show. She just makes you think you run the show.
True that. True.
I'll be back, guys. I got to go get the woman some soup.
Go right ahead. Yeah.
Excellent.
That was hilarious. Just everything.
Sleeper Agents 1, 2, 3 has been enhanced.
All I have to say about social justice war is that they continue their attitude the way they are and stuff like that. Years down the road, they're going to regret the type of lifestyle they had. I know this from having like a lot of cousins who've done dumbass things in their lives. Years down the road, they're going to regret a lot of the things they've done. Yeah.
Well, almost certainly true. I mean, who doesn't regret things they've done in their past?
When you lie, it will bite you in the ass in the long run.
Yeah, and when you use the words like patriarchy and all that bullshit and just say, like, I hate patriarchy and stuff, and then you finally actually want a kid, like those people. Like for instance, I get
Well, you
pissed off
always
when
get
I
those
see.
articles, right? Those articles.
I always want to say this.
Why
I've
can't I
always
find a
wanted
good man? Why can't I find a good man? Maybe
when
it's
I went
because
on
you're
to
a
Twitter,
bitch.
I
I don't
saw
know.
Lacey Green say something. Here's what Lacey Green said. She wanted to make a point that she was taking birth control. She said like this: I'm taking birth control, and I'm happy that my boyfriend respects my rights to actually take it. And I'm looking at him like, yeah, he can respect your rights for taking that, but you also have to respect the guy. You also have to respect people's rights for just. How do I put this?
I'm just wondering how many men.
All the.
How many men worry about that shit and go, oh, I've told my boyfriend I'm taking birth control. It's like a man go, okay, fine. Well, I mean, does that mean we're fucking without condoms or not? It's like that's basically what I'm thinking. A man's going to be thinking, not anything else.
Yes, and everyone always makes fun of Lacey Green's boobs for some reason.
Why?
She's got some nice tits. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, that's true. It's just they just keep talking about them.
Yeah, but I'm just saying this as an example here. I mean, yeah, you could always make a point that yeah, you have the right to control what you want to do with your life, like if you want a child or not. But also, the guy actually has the right to be able to find someone that does want to start a family. I'm putting that out there to all these people that keep acting like that.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, the fact is, I have a girlfriend. It's like mostly it's women who want to start a family, especially when you get into my fucking age.
No, but I mean, when you're getting in your 30s and stuff like that, and you're in a long-standing relationship, and the guy actually wants to actually have children or something like that, that happens. I've seen this happen where men actually dump their girlfriends because how do I put this? Because
well, the
they
want to start a family.
And the woman doesn't. I've seen that happen so many times. They say, "Okay, I want someone that is more willing to actually have children." So that.
That's interesting because that is absolutely against a stereotype that I would have expected.
Yeah, it happens. It happens quite a bit more than you guys could know. Yeah. And I'm going to hear social justice warriors say, "No, that does," and I'm like, "Yeah, that does." Men actually will leave their girlfriends if they are like this like I don't want children type of person.
Well, it is interesting. I mean, certainly I'd be happy to start a family if I didn't know that. I mean, it's probably not going to happen at this point, and I've got various problems and diseases and stuff that are going to kill me off young. So probably I don't want to leave a kid on his own. Although I do all right money-wise, so I could probably live. Let's say hypothetically I had a wife and all that shit. I could probably leave him off financially soluble for a good number of years. So that would be all right. But it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't find it unsurprising that there's plenty of men who would like, yeah, I want to start a family. I'm just more surprised that the other side would be like, oh, a woman going, oh no, I don't want to have a family.
That happens quite a bit. The social justice types, that happens with them quite a bit. I've seen.
What's the reasoning?
I don't know what the reasoning is. They're just they try to make this point that they don't want anything like that. It's crazy how these social justice warriors make the.
This is why they were trying to block all discussion with us.
Okay.
Well, because of families.
No, they're not families.
Because they don't want to be challenged.
They don't want to be challenged, and they don't want us to. They don't want us to expose or talk about it.
They know that none of their arguments stand up to scrutiny. They know there's no evidence that backs anything they say up. And when they get facts and logic thrown in their direction, they shut it down because that way they can shove it off and say, oh, well, he's just being a pig and a misogynist.
Yeah,
well, I hope we're not treading anyone's toes by saying it all sounds very similar to what a lot of religions do to me.
We've all said it.
Social justice warriors are worse than religion because.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Because at least religion religion goes by ancient text for the most part.
Yes, at least you could cite the sources to ancient religions.
Yeah,
Having said that, though, could you imagine? Let's go 2,000 years into the future, and imagine Anita Sarkeesian's video being the foundation of a religion.
You know what? Gabe
Newell's more of a god
than Anita Sarkeesian.
All hail Newell.
All hail Gabe Newell.
Now get Half-Life 3.
Lord Gaben.
Half-Life 3 is the second coming. It's not the second coming. It's never going to happen. Half-Life 3 is never going to happen.
You know what? There has been some buzz. I mean, I've heard that it may actually happen. You know, this is the thing that's going to kill me about Half-Life 3 if it ever gets made. We will no longer be able to say Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Yes,
no more. It will hurt my heart.
Yeah,
Then we get to see Half-Life 4 confirmed.
Yeah, and
well, I think
actually,
the most convincing video.
Portal 3, Left 4 Dead 3, yeah, those games are there first.
Dude, that's what we were jamming last night, and my FGC team was Left 4 Dead.
Alright, I gotta go, guys. I got
Alright, JT, have a good one.
Have a good one, man.
My live stream anyways, so take care.
Okay, see you later. Okay.
I think the most convincing argument I saw against not having Half-Life 3 out was basically, I think it might have been the Game Theorist or someone else, basically, Valve don't need to make games because they make so much fucking money from Steam. It's like,
yeah,
they don't need to do fucking anything.
They're going to make Half-Life 3 one of these days. I know they are. I'm not sure when it's going to happen. I'm not sure what the hell Gabe Newell's doing.
Well, I mean, what's probably going to happen is Valve is probably going to sell the rights off to some other studio that says, okay, we can make Half-Life 3, we'll make it.
They have the Source 3, they have the Source 2 built, so they are going to have Half-Life 3. If they built the Source 2 engine, one thing I'm more excited about the Source 2 engine after Half-Life 3 comes out, Garry's Mod 2.
Oh, God.
I hope that happens. I would love to see what the Source 2 engine looks like.
This is an interesting question. It's like, I mean, you see this thing, I haven't been in the sort of, like I've said before, I haven't been in the gaming community, sort of keeping up with things for quite a few years, like on and off, playing StarCraft 2 and shit. But when I was big into it in the late 90s and shit, it was all about, for me, it was all about Duke Nukem modifications. And the thing is, what you could do when it was all sprite-based and shit like that, you as an amateur, it was a lot fucking easier. There's a lot lower level entry. I mean, this thing, if you want to make a really impressive mod these days, you've got to have skills that are equivalent to guys who are getting paid for this shit as a living. So that's a really fucking high bar if you're a guy who's trying to modify shit.
Well, we're now in an age where mods wind up becoming future expansion packs for whatever game they made them for.
Yeah,
Look at Counter-Strike.
I mean, there's a game I'm reviewing right now. I was given permission to review this one mod for Fallout New Vegas. I got permission from the owners, Project Brazil, if any of you have ever heard of that mod.
Sounds very familiar.
Project Brazil is like it's like they're trying to create the backstory for the courier. Basically, I'm not gonna post a video up until like I have things to do tomorrow, so it won't be up until like Wednesday, maybe next Wednesday. But the one thing about this mod is it like talks about the backstory. You're in this vault in San Bernardino area in California, and it talks about like how everything gets started with the courier. It's like years before. It's actually a pretty good mod.
Not a bad idea. Well, the thing about
it hasn't been completed yet either. They're still working on it right now, and they just showed me working and stuff. And I just recently, when I was playing, I found a few glitches, so I decided to be a good reviewer, tell them ahead of time that I found these glitches.
Well, the great thing about mods is, like, for instance, look at the Skyrim mod community.
Yes.
They turned Skyrim into so many different things. They improved the game with some of the stuff they put out.
Yeah. Like False Scar, remember that mod?
Yeah, or I know there was multiple mods for the vampire thing that improved what vampires could do in the game, where it didn't feel like such a downer to play a vampire.
Yeah, you were like this floating thing. It was like the vampire lord was so annoying. It was better to play a werewolf. I'd rather stay a werewolf. I'd rather join the companions and become a werewolf.
I don't want to interject too much. I mean, this is all fact. I mean, God, I really wish I was keeping up. The last really impressive mod that I think I saw was some guys who made Vice City, GTA Vice City, into a multiplayer game. That was pretty awesome. I mean, the
Fallout New Vegas. There's a small-time mod on I forgot what Nexus for Fallout New Vegas where you can mod it, and someone could jump on your game with you, and it's like a ghoul with a flamethrower.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
one game I see a lot of, and I'm surprised it still keeps getting modded, is Doom.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised about. I
Okay.
did mods for Doom. I remember the Aliens mod for Doom, which is fucking awesome.
It was a better game than Colonial Marines.
Okay, guys,
Even with all its 2D glory, it's better.
What's up,
Yeah.
John?
I'm gonna end the stream right here. I'm gonna stop the broadcast.
Shitlords.
Continue talking off stream, but for those of you who stayed this long watching us talk just randomly, we thank you guys. We'll see you guys later. Hopefully, Andreadol will be up next Wednesday with his streams.
Just remember to subscribe to everyone who's doing YouTube and stuff. Favorite it, do all that stuff. You see, Leon's not doing it. I'm doing it. I'm shilling. I'm shilling at this point.
I'll shill.
I subscribe to every Gamergator I can find on YouTube. So, okay, we'll see you guys later.
See ya.